All right. We are live, so let's dive down into this. This is going to be session 3, probably the last session for the Rising Hunger campaign. We have 4 of you ready. To set the scene, the 4 of you are lying in a snow mound after getting the craps kicked out of you by a pair of large giants, some frantic orcs that were scrambling down the mountainside, this huge avalanche that rolled down with you, went over several cliffs, finally hitting the bottom of this valley. You were headed down this way to check on a large hole when you guys were back in the goblin encampment. I believe Dio and somebody else kind of looked off the cliffside edge down into this valley, and you can see this huge hole that goes into the ground. Looked maybe 30, 40 yards across in diameter. That was the day before. As all of you come to in this massive pile of snow and ice, debris, rocks, trees, everything around you. Alan, you're the first one to open your eyes, not so much as you're waking up in the morning, but the fact that you can feel a heavy thwack of a stick across your midsection, a couple of jabs into your groin with this thing. Then you can feel the leaves and a bit of the bark as well as it brushes up against your face like somebody's poking you. And as you open your eyes, you see this old, weathered man. His skin is real dark and tanned. He has what looks to be like animal pelts and like wolf pelts that are covering him all up and kind of bandaged him up. All you can pretty much see are these 2 old-looking eyes and then his weathered skin peeking out in different areas. And he draws in real close to your face, looking at you. You can feel the hotness, the steam rolling off where his breath is as he breathes into your face. Silent, doesn't say anything for a few moments. Once your eyes open, you can see his eyes kind of stare back in astonishment for the moment. And then he looks over at the others, and you can see he goes over, kicks Dio a few times, and then starts making his way over to Nox, getting ready to start poking the goblin with his stick. Nox, you come to as he jabs you a few times. Dio, you as well. And Morta, you'd be the last one to wake up. Not by this guy prodding you, but you can hear him beside you as he's poking Nox. And with that, I will leave it over to you guys.
A little bit leery of this man. Alan's gonna not bear weapons towards him, but it's just, who are you and how have you lived here for so long with all these giants roaming around?
As you step forward and you say this, your eyes kind of come back into focus. You look around, you can see you're not where you remembered you were. You don't see the huge dead giant that was blown apart into pieces. The terrain is a little bit different. There's actually a small fire in between. You can see all of you are spread out kind of in a circle around these flames, keeping you warm. You can see this trail of, walking through the snow and stuff, and where he might have dragged you guys over to this. When you say that, his head snaps around, and he just puts his hand up to his face, kind of to be silent for a second. And he looks around, kind of has his hands up, like a caution look on his face.
And with that, I'm just going to stay silent, but I'm also going to kind of give a nod, kind of realizing what he has done for us, and like a nod of a thank you, like, for dragging us here, and then kind of go over to Dio to make sure that he's okay and see if he needs winding up or not, because I'm pretty sure he probably needs just a little bit.
When you look good over there next to him, you can see most of these pipes and the gears and stuff that make him go. A lot of them have been repaired, kind of bent back into place, so the gears unjammed. You can see some new wiring in this chest area, a couple new panels that have been placed onto his back, his arms, and his legs. If you look at the others, you notice too, they have bandages. Nox has a big one wrapped around his head, covering part of his eye. Morta, her legs are bound up pretty good. You can see these heavy braces that were there. Yourself too. You can see your blood-stained clothes, but you're bandaged up for the most part. You get the sense it's probably been several days you guys have been out.
Okay.
Wow.
I'm just going to kind of wait until he says it's all right to talk again, but do try to kind of move on to the rest of the group to make sure that they're not only physically okay, but, emotionally okay and all that, because we just did did go through an ordeal.
Right.
What the hell's going on here? Why am I all bound up?
See this old man hurry over to you, and he puts his hand up to your mouth, Morta, and his eyes kind of widen, and he shakes. Just as he does that, you feel the ground quake a little bit under you, just a soft tremor, but it seems to be in rhythm every few seconds. The soft tremor seems to be getting a little bit lighter, a little bit lighter.
You said there was a fire. Is the fire kind of being covered? Or not covered, but... like...
It's really low, like mostly just embers and a few flickering flames.
Okay.
Not like a roaring bonfire.
Well,
So-
I was just wondering if he designed this place to where the light wouldn't shine out. Like if he had enough trees to cover...
Yeah, definitely. You can see the trees around you. And if you look up and stuff, these are nice, good, heavy pine trees that tower up pretty high. So you're kind of in this little clearing, sort of, but the branches and everything still cover up over top really well. Usually very, there's like 2-3 feet of snow out and around you. But in this area, there's only a few inches. Most of it's up in the trees, limbs, and stuff. These tremors get a little bit softer, and after 2-3 minutes, he sits down on this large log that's been carved out almost in the shape of his own ass. Has been sitting here for so long, and he waves all of you forward. As you move, Morta, you can feel these braces. They're not really tight to your legs anymore. Everything looks like it's been healed up, but they were there just as support for your knees, and everything were busted up. And the rest of you too, you feel a little weakened still, but for the most part, you're feeling decent. You guys are going to basically have 3 days of rest, so do your healing rate 3 times.
Oh.
I only need 1.
Yeah, so we did a good job. All my plates and hydraulics are working fine, hardly leaking.
It looks like you got a couple of extra bits there too.
I like it. Yeah, he did like a color sequence.
When he takes a seat, you can hear this creaking sort of sound. And he reaches up and he pulls what's left of this pelt that's kind of wrapped around his face. And as he pulls it down, you can see from his upper lip, the jaw place, everything down below. It looks just like solid steel, like that of a skull almost. You can see his jaw, his teeth. And he pulls this pelt down around his neck, almost like a scarf. When he waves you over, Morta, this one hand raises up, the pelts kind of fall down his sleeves a little bit, and you can see what looks to be a metal metallic arm underneath. He says, I've had a lot of experience working on robots like him. Tell me your names.
Well, I'm Alan. This is Dio. And then we have Nox, right? Yeah, Nox and Morta.
And I whisper into his ear when he says my name. The giant rider. Don't forget.
And yeah, Alan just doesn't respond or doesn't add the giant rider title. He just keeps it moving on to Morta.
Morta gives him a little wink and exposes her teeth a little bit. You can see that they're a little bit dirty.
He offers a warm smile as much as he can towards you, Morta. Reaches down and takes out a small knife and picks up a piece of wood that's been laying at his feet and begins to whittle at it, working on it. See, it looks like he's making something that sort of looks like a turtle, about the size of the palm of his hand. And he nods, sitting in silence for a good 2-3 minutes before he looks up. My name's Yak. Been living here for ever since I can remember. Says, as for your question, says, I stay quiet and I keep hidden. The giants are everywhere around here. You're lucky I found you.
What did you say his name was again?
Yak.
Yeah. Okay.
So, did you kill that giant? 2 of them I saw you with. Can't imagine the 4 of you taking on a pair of giants.
we've killed, and I'm kind of looking at the group, we've killed 4 giants so far.
You bullshitting me?
That's right.
No.
This is affirmative. This is
And I wrote
This
2 of
sec-
them, actually. That's why they call me the Giant Rider. I look at Alan.
Yeah, I was going to try to get to that, but he gets a little excited about that.
Every goblin gets excited.
Yeah. It's... If you have one, it's okay, but when you get more than one, that's when it becomes a problem, so that's why we just keep this one.
Yes, yes. I do a lot of trading with the goblins. Well, let me rephrase that. I used to do a lot of trading with the goblins. The orcs as well, but maybe 2 months ago now, those giants came back. And things have been a little bit rough.
Wait, you said came back, so you were here when they were here before?
Well, of course. I've been here ever since I can remember. I met the young lady, sorceress, years ago who came down through here. What was her name? Abigail. Abigail, I believe her name was. Fine young lady. Apparently she didn't succeed in killing them all, though.
Tell us what happened? Because she did go off on a quest to get rid of them, but then she disappeared and never came back. Do you know where she went?
He stares down at this little thing that he's carving away and gives a bit of a shrug. You can hear this humming sort of sound when he lifts his arms up and shrugs. That was a long time ago, Alan. I just shared words with her, had dinner, told her what I know, and off she went. To be honest, I didn't even know she was dead. I'm assuming she must have succeeded because the giants haven't been around for, well over 100 years. I tend to lose count of the years as time goes by here.
Taking a little bit more into account what he looks like, does he look human or...
Looks like he's used to be partly human, or at least used to be human, but has sort of replaced a lot of his parts with robotic parts.
Okay. He's a cyborg. So sort of a cyborg.
Yep.
So I analyze him. Is he like basically a robot?
You can see
is he a clockwork?
Looks like a mesh between the two. You can see living organs. It looks like a lot of it's old, like his skin is really tanned and leathery. Some of the internal organs that he has look fairly fresh and good health. You can see his musculature, that's what's left of the actual organic musculature, looks good. It's just been melded in with clockwork bits to replace that of what he's missing. His one arm looks clockwork, part of his leg on the left leg, knee down is the lower half of his jaw.
D110's head swivels towards him and like goes, Quarry, why did you aid us? Quarry.
Well, seeing that those 2 giants were dead there with you, I had a little bit of hope that maybe you did indeed kill them, or at least have a part of it. Beyond that, curiosity. Now, you don't see much of you mountain folk down in the valley anymore. Mostly just the goblins and the orcs that I trade with. Figure maybe somehow I can prosper out of this.
Query, is there a way to defeat the giants?
You're the giant killers, and from what he says, he's a hell of a giant rider. You'd be able to answer that question better than I can. I ain't never killed a giant. I just hunt, trap, make potions, and relax.
A couple of days ago, did you hear a trumpet?
Oh, yes. It echoes out of the hole several times. Started pretty quiet at first. A few loud times.
See people being pulled towards that hole? Because that's what happened to our village. A lot of people disappeared and was pulled in towards the direction of the trumpet.
Stares at you kind of quizzically for a little while. No, it's just me here. I don't associate with people very often. A lot of the goblins, they're gone. Most of the orcs are gone. So that's where I get most of my supplies. Since I haven't seen a soul in near 2 months, I just figured the giants ate them, but perhaps the trumpet had something to do with it.
Well, I do have a little bit of good news, if you would consider it good news. There is still one goblin tribe left, and he's at the very top of the mountain. Just a few of them, though, about 6 or 7 of them, right? Kind of looking at the others to confirm the numbers.
Affirmative.
I'm not sure if you really want to trade with them. I mean, that's just kind of up to you. Dealing with goblins doesn't necessarily seem in your best interest, but I mean, if you need supplies, you need supplies. So, but there is, a few people up there. A lot of his tribe got sucked towards the trumpet. Yes, I am very racist. Sorry. At least the goblins. How often do these giants come out of the hole? Like, can you lead us to where this hole is, where these giants are coming from, or at least tell us where it is?
He places down this small little carving dozen and sits back in his chair, getting a little more comfortable, crosses his hands across his chest. I've seen 5 giants, 4 young ones, along with a teen. What do you know of giants? All of you, I assume, must be too young to remember the original war?
Yes. From what I know of giants is after you kill them, they explode.
Yeah. That sucks.
And they can cause a lot of damage. They don't seem too intelligent, though.
No. The others that you've killed, you said you killed 2 others as well. Were they the same size as those ones back there?
I believe so. I think one was a little bit smaller. One was a female.
He says, those are just toddlers.
Alan's eyes just oof, like big, like, oh god.
They're not necessarily dumb. They're simply uneducated, young, playful. Says, there's been 4 of them I've seen pass through. Perhaps the 4 that you've killed. Says, I didn't take too close a notice on what they looked like or to confirm. There's another, an older one, what you might call a teen for your own race, Alan. Maybe twice the size of them. He covered in what looked to be dead bodies, kind of woven together. I stayed out of sight for the most part. But that's not the bad news. This is, giants live on a hierarchy, a youngest to oldest. See these small trow, perhaps you've seen them, they look like scraggly, scrawny dwarfs, filthy, covered in hair. They've been working around here lately. Think of them like, it kind of stares off for a few moments in silence. Small creatures, little insects. They work in hives. What are they called?
Drones?
Oh, no. Ants. Small ants. Think of them like an ant mound, ant family. So it's the trow. These used to be an ancient race of dwarves. From what I understand, I've never researched them. They work like worker ants. They get the food, they take care of the other ones. The giants themselves, the toddlers, the teens, the young adults, they're soldiers. They protect the hive. And then there's the queen, a great, massive, bloated-like creature, unable to move, just spawns forth these abominations day after day, year after year. That's the one that needs to die. Otherwise, this war would never end. So I tell you what, if I give you some supplies, you want to go kill this wretch? Because, to be quite honest, it's causing quite a ruckus around here. It's getting a little frustrating.
Well, that's part of the reason why I came. And if you notice, he says I came on this little adventure was to stop the giants and find our people. So I would be willing to go.
Assuming all your people are dead, are you still willing?
It needs to be done, because if we don't stop them here, then just more people are going to die somewhere else. And you said that they will continue to spawn more and more, and so this menace is just going to keep growing larger and larger and cover more ground.
As which happened in the original wars. Dozens of the things, maybe hundreds. What about the rest of you? Are you as noble and kind-hearted as this fool?
And he just smiles when you call him a fool.
Affirmative.
I live to slay some more giants and to end this.
Ha, you just look like you're having fun, Morta.
I know
yeah.
I am having fun. I just want to ride the giant.
So, Yak, tell me this. Do these giants have any particular weak spot that you've heard talk of?
Weaknesses, not really. Beat the shit out of them until they fall. That's pretty much the way it goes. This queen says, I've only read it in books and remember the stories, that my father told me. But he kind of looks around and kind of points off to this mountain range in the distance. You can see this huge mountain peak rising up. It says, she's, from what he said, could be as large as a mountain. Just depends on how old she is. It says, for if she's the original from years ago, then Abigail failed and maybe just locked her away for a while, then it's hard to say. It says, a creature that size, says, I don't know.
Is there, well, you know that they came out of the hole, right? That's where they're coming from?
It says, yes, I've saw them, the four young ones and the other one, they climb out of there, sort of like a ladder system with the roots and everything. I've been to the edge and looked down deep within the earth, but they definitely come from there, along with the trowel.
That you can seal that hole, just in case if we fail and are not able to kill this queen, at least we can seal her away again for some time.
His eyes just kind of widen and stare at you. Perhaps if you could somehow collapse the tunnel, since it's a good 35, 40 yards in diameter. It gets bigger every day. They continue to work at it and expand it. I almost wonder if they hope to somehow bring the queen through eventually. So the trowel, these creatures, he stops and he's just kind of in thought, thinking. Think of it like the ocean. Maybe none of you have ever seen the ocean, but there's these small, spongy little things in the ocean, and there's lots of little fish that live inside those sponges, and on those fish are tiny little mites and fleas, water fleas maybe they're called, or ocean fleas. Maybe they're called sea fleas. They live on the fish. So it works much the same way. Deep down in there would be the queen, and the trowel, filthy, just work. They do nothing besides do whatever the queen blesses. And they breed and copulate amongst the folds of her flesh and in her hair like lice.
Do you think they would try to hurt us before we get to her? Because it doesn't seem
they are
a little bit mindless.
Yes, he says unless for somehow they're commanded to do so, they do nothing besides the work. It's the giant soldiers that you need to worry about. But you look like you have that under control with your giant rider and giant slayer and your friend, Clockwork.
What about when, I think you called her Annabelle?
Abigail.
Right. Abigail.
Starcrest.
What did you two talk about when she was here before? Did she mention any kind of plan she had when she was here?
She did. She's... did you ever meet the young lady?
Sadly, I did not.
Beautiful young lady. Flowing golden blonde hair. Quite a powerful sorceress from what I understood. She had her men with her. Her army, I suppose, was what she called it. 50, 60 men. They all went deep into the mountainside at that time. It wasn't a hole in the earth like it is now. It was on the other side of the veil. A large open mine that led down into what was supposed to be some sort of ancient dwarven hall. That's where the Trow used to thrive and live before they became what they are now. She spoke of calling forth the new god's army. I'm not sure what that meant, but there was a hell of an explosion. A great light from the sky that blew the top of the mountain off. He points over to a mountain in the distance that has a completely flat top. It's sort of a iconic urban legend around a lot of the other mountain folk like yourselves and stuff. He says somebody or something helped her, at least cave in the place for the last 150 years. But I'm sure the four of you will be just fine. I mean, you have a giant rider with you. What more could you ask for?
Affirmative. We proceed.
Well,
I wish we had some explosives.
let's kind of talk along these supplies that you are offering to give us.
Oh, it's not an offer to give, Alan. It's a product to repay for. I'm sure we could make a deal. You slay these giants, get rid of these, do something so that the goblins and the orcs can come back. We can make a living, do some trade. Things can get back to normal. Because this has been a mighty inconvenience. In turn, I'll happily give you a few supplies. I don't have a whole lot, but I'll offer up what I can here. Just remember, if you fail, I'll have your soul.
Fair enough. I mean, what am I going to do with my soul when I fail, or if I fail?
Good
and
sport.
He kind of holds up his finger like he's not going to fail.
Well,
but I would like to offer you this. And he reaches in and pulls out this dragon scale that he's been carrying around, and also the silver arrow that he's been shot with in the war. And I want you to have these things just in case. I know we're not going to fail, but I don't want you to give us supplies and then you be left without anything to trade for later on.
Well, if you fail, I'll have your souls to trade, but if you insist, I'll happily partake in these gifts.
Well, I know some of our souls could be worth quite a bit, but I'm not sure about the others.
Takes those and kind of shoves them down into his pelts that he's wearing a little bit. Looks around at the rest of you. So what do you say? You all are noble enough, fierce enough, giant rider enough. I'll give you a few tools to aid you in your quest, and you can go kill a few giants and get this place back to normal. Yeah?
Affirmative. Let's do it.
Goes over
Go ahead. She's over there picking her nose and looks over and kind of smiles and nods and pulls out her finger. He just kind of gives a thumbs up. She's looking at the booger on her finger and gives a thumbs up to Yak.
Golden nuggets. You should trade that with the goblins. Snot Muncher's a hell of a golden nugget fan. But I digress. He steps over the side and moves what looks to be this huge boulder with one of his robotic arm and just kind of shoves it out of the way. Underneath a large hole's been kind of dug down in there. He pulls out his satchel and brings it over, setting it down. Pulls out what looks to be a long vial, has some sort of red, almost blood-like liquid into it. He hands each of you one of them. It's a potent healing potion. Just a sip of this, you'll have an erection for weeks, and you'll feel 100%. But more importantly, it'll close your wounds up. The erection is just a side effect. It's not much who likes these two. Shuffles around a little bit. You can see all these other little boxes and vials and stuff in this satchel. He pulls out two more. They look like large tobacco leaves that have been rolled up. He has the two of them. He hands these over to Knox. Says, you ever get tired, just chew on these. I like to call them adrenaline leaves, but whatever the case, they'll make you move faster than you've ever moved before. They cause a bit of anal leakage, but that should be all right. Sits around a little bit more.
How many of them were that, sorry?
Two.
Okay.
They'll increase your speed by +8.
Oh, wow.
The healing potions that he gave you, they do have a side effect of a direction, but they'll heal double your healing rate.
When he mentioned the erection, I just kind of look at Dio for a second and just wonder, like, and then just put that thought behind, save it for later. Like,
Morta doesn't blush, but you could tell that she's amused.
Since I'm unsure of what it would do to the ladies, Morta, you'll have to tell me when you return. And, well, I have confidence in you. Normally, I wouldn't give away this, but he pulls out two other small vials, this greenish-colored one. This here, simple few sips of this. You can see there's only maybe a couple sips left at the bottom of it, one dose or so. It says it'll turn you into a cloud, only for a short while. Think of it as a gaseous form. Smells a bit noxious. Makes a strange rumbling sound when you first take it, but it works quite well. Just make sure you're not any place you wouldn't normally fit when you come back to being complete, because it will not be pretty. And this other one, he holds up what looks to be just a vial of water of some sort. Well, I don't know what this does. Says I just kind of throw whatever is left when I don't quite have a full dose into a vial, and this is what it looks like. I'll give it to you, but take it your own warning. Think of it as a last resort, because it might do nothing and it might blow up the world. I don't know. But I think you should have it.
Does he hand them off to anyone particular, or
kind of sets them out on the log? Yeah.
If no one has an objections, I'll take the mysterious potion and then hand the cloud potion to Morta. And then as I'm handing it to her, ask, how long does this cloud potion last for?
This is, I don't know, minute, 10 minutes, an hour maybe. It's a little volatile. I'm new to the alchemist and apothecary trades, but it's more than what you had, right?
I appreciate everything you're doing, and I'm sure by you helping us, we will definitely succeed. Kind of almost saying, you think he's saying this to not only boost his own confidence, but to also boost the confidence of the party as well. Kind of like that before the fight, we're all gonna die. Pep speech. It's like, yes, we're gonna succeed.
Is the potion in a small vial, Morgan?
Yes. What? I'm sorry. What?
Is the potion in a pretty small vial?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Morta's gonna slip it close to her crotch, and she's gonna wink and thank Alan. Thank you.
Says, and I wasn't just being funny with you, Morta. I'm quite curious to know what kind of effect that will have on you. You'll have to return to let me know.
Oh, I'll let you know. I'm sure there'll be a story to tell.
I used to be a bard. I'm sure we could come up with a story to revel the fearsome, engorged Morta.
We're gonna have to keep our eyes on Alan over here and Knox, little Knox. He's gonna get a double effect, little Knox.
See, Yak, look up at the sky. Says, well, it's early morning yet. If all of you would like to partake in a small breakfast, I have plenty of leaves and twigs. I made a bit of a dirt soup this morning. We can have breakfast, and I'll happily show you where the hole is.
I'll top up the hydraulic fluid. Give the crank on the old ticker.
Alan will say, that sounds wonderful. We haven't eaten what seems like in a couple of days.
I force-fed you, don't worry.
He'll start trying to go through his pack to see if he has any rations left, kind of deal.
Whatever you had in there before, because, whatever he was feeding you, wasn't your own food.
That's what I was wondering. But kind of offer that to him, like, almost like this is our last meal kind of deal. But not quite. Like, still save a few rations just in case if we need it. Because got to have some on the trip back, too.
Well, had I known you had that in your packs, I probably would have fed you more than tree bark and grubs. You might be bound up for a few weeks, but just drink some prunes and maybe some mineral oils, and you'll be all right.
Might take a sip of that stuff you gave Knox. Would probably clear it up.
That too. So, unless you guys have any other further questions or anything about him, he'll go through and make up some food, get everything around, and start heading out to show you guys, where to go from here.
Sounds good to me. Does anyone else have a question? Comments, concerns?
Have you ever found, Yak, any other any giant corpses anywhere around? Graveyards or anything?
Not since the original war. Those that seem to be around this time are slow to come out or slow to emerge, which is a little cause for concern. Either most of them are too young yet, or else they're building their forces. It's hard to say which. Otherwise, when they die, they blow apart into pieces, as you've probably seen, and usually just rot away wherever they're left. They really have no care for one another or offer any funeral rites. Very primitive creatures. Nice shield, by the way.
Oh, yes. Notice the texture here.
Beautiful.
Thick skin. Giant nipple. It's real giant nipple.
Oh, real. That's. You might have to trade for that, or perhaps I can hire you to make me one. I know a few people who'd be interested in giant nipples.
They're very tough,
Makes me wonder how they pierce them. I saw a couple giants once. Big old piercings, big hooks, like meat hooks, whale hooks through them things.
They must carve through, because I'm telling you, it's like dragon hide.
Perhaps I'll have to research that. That will be my next book. Study of giant nipple piercings. It'll be a hit.
Dio produces a fine point drill bit. Bzz, bzz, bzz.
Ha, there you go.
Perfect.
Commence piercing. Bzz.
See Dio, or I'm sorry, Yak gathers up his stuff, throws everything over his shoulders, and it's like, well, unless we have more tinkering and farting around to do, I suppose we should get on our way. Lead you down this mountain path. Every now and then as you pass through clearings and stuff, you can see this huge hole in the earth getting closer and closer until you finally reach the sort of the pinnacle point as you come around a small bend of trees, and it opens up into this huge hole. On the far side, a good 40, almost 45 yards across now, you can see a couple dozen of these dwarfs, these trow, working at the side of this hole, carving it out and using picks, shovels, their hands, whatever they have, sticks, just slowly making this hole bigger and bigger. There's a few other little groups of them here and there across the whole diameter of this thing. He points straight down as all of you come up to the edge, and you can see as you look down, this pit is deep. Yeah, go look over. It's about 150 feet. I dropped a few rocks the other day when it was a little quieter here. The giants climb out. He points over to the side. You can see these old tree roots on part of it, boulders that are sticking out, different handholds and footholds. He says, like almost like a ladder. Obviously much too large for yourselves, but that's for your problem to decide. I got you here. You guys can go down there and go fishing. Have a good day, fellas. He turns and starts to walk away.
So I guess the big question is, how are we going to get down there? With that, seeing how no one's kind of answering him back.
Au revoir, Yak.
Okay, you said it's 150 feet or 150?
Yep, 150 feet. 50 yards, 150 feet.
Okay. Just remember seeing it this morning. Alan's going to reach in and pull out his a coil of rope that he has, which is about 20 yards. Does anyone else have any rope?
I think I do.
I do have a coil of rope.
Okay.
Dio does too.
All right, sweet. So maybe we should tie our ropes together and throw it down. Climb down.
Yeah, 3 lengths of rope.
Yeah, that would reach the bottom. Yeah. There's tons of trees, rocks, debris, whatever else you want. You could easily anchor the rope, probably around a couple of these large pine trees. Throw it over the edge. I need will challenge rolls from everybody with 1 bane.
Why is this?
Great start.
Oh, I got a 7.
So, all right.
Pardon me, I just need...
Nope, Nox is good.
Yeah.
17.
Nice. So, Nox and Dio, as the two of you come over to the edge, you watch this coil of rope flitter over the edges. Alan tosses it down. You hear this soft droning, real soft at first. It's a little bit louder, a little bit louder. You're going to hear the sound of this trumpet echoing out of this hole. And before you're able to get any words out or say anything, and you look over, you see both Alan and Morta just disappear. You can hear their screams from this huge open tunnel echo up for a few moments as the two of you reappear or materialize, and your stomach just drops out underneath you as you realize that you're falling down through this tunnel. Then once again, you disappear. A few moments pass, and you wake up on the ground of this cavern. Just the pinpoint of the light above you from this hole opening 150 feet above you. And all around you are hundreds of these trow creature, these mindless dwarves roaming about in circles. Some of them clambering over top of each other. Some of them look to be carrying dead bodies. It's pretty dark and kind of stank down here, so it's hard to see anything. Both Nox and Dio, you two are still left up at the top of this hole. You can't see the bottom without some sort of good light, though.
Well, that's one way to get down, huh, Morta? And with that, I'm fishing to try to find a torch. I believe I have one.
Oh, jeez, shit. Morta's all bent out of shape, kind of just looking around, and she's gonna pull out her tinderbox and oil flask and see if Alan wants to use it.
Yeah, I will pull out 2 torches actually, and basically be holding the torches while you light them, and then hand you off one.
As soon as that first torch flares to life, you can see all these trow around you. They're about 5 feet height, long, gangly arms, legs, real thin. They have their beards, and what's left of their hair wrapped around them is clothing, basically, covered in filth, excrement. They just reek of body odor. So all of the ones around you let out this screech, and they just pile on top of Morta, pounding down on her, pounding at these flames. Oh, actually, that's the wrong one. And they don't actually hurt you or do anything more to it, but they're more interested in just like getting you down to the ground and putting these flames out, and just louding these loud screeching sort of sounds. It starts to echo across the chamber. You can hear it answered in the distance, and more of these things start walking, moving, kind of dragging themselves in your direction.
Was that light enough to where the others up top was able to see?
Yeah, probably for just a brief second. The two of you would have seen this torch kind of flare up for 2-3 seconds and then snuff out.
Hopefully that's indication that we're still alive and may need some assistance.
Yes. Well,
I'm going to try to grab Morta and pull her out from underneath this dog pile of people, I guess.
Yeah, not a problem. Yeah, once these flames are out, they pretty much just kind of go back to their mindless wandering. For that brief second, as the flames kind of came up and you looked around, you looked to be in what looks like a huge cavern. It's probably a good 60, 70 yards in the distance. The ceiling itself goes up a good 30, 40 yards. Off to the side, you see what looks to be a cave-in or rubble from above that might have come crashing down, but it's just covered up this entire body or this group of trow. You can see limbs sticking out, bodies. Some of them look injured, some look dead, but all the trow are over there kind of moving the debris away, pulling out these bodies, and they're throwing them into carts. Seeing it for just a brief second, almost like a strobe light sort of thing, as they're working to uncover their fellow workers. But both living, dead, whatever, they just were throwing all the bodies into these huge iron carts.
Well,
but how about you other two up top? You seen this bright flash for just a brief second, and then it goes out. You can hear this groaning, grinding sort of sounds of all these trow down below. It sounds like there's a lot of them.
I scan quickly, and they're attacking our friends. Do we know that? Like, we don't.
You might be able to surmise it, but not necessarily. No.
Yeah, right. So I'm just going to rappel down because Master Walker's down there, and so Dio immediately is like, cover. I'm going in. Turns around and just rappels down the rope, just holding it clamp.
Nice. So you see
this-
Dio go over the side. What does Nox do?
Well, I have dark vision since I'm a goblin, and
Yep.
so I would be, able to see everything clearly, like hopefully there. So could I maybe I would stay up? Would I be able to shoot down with my blowgun from
Oh,
this
yeah, definitely.
vantage point? Yeah,
Yep,
so
definitely.
that's what I would do.
Right. As you peer over the edge for that brief second when that light kind of flares up, it kind of blows your dark vision away for a few seconds. But as it clears back up and you look down, you see Dio rappelling over the side. And like Yak said, it's about 150 feet down to the bottom. And you just see this swarming mass, like an anthill, basically, of trow piling up down below. It looks like maybe 100 of them, give or take. It's hard to really say. They just swarm over top of each other. Let's see. Dio, you would be able to rappel down there without any problem. Yeah, I won't need a climb check or anything since you guys got the rope. So, yeah, you're able to kind of rappel down the side. By the time you reach the bottom, I don't know if you have dark vision or not, do you?
I'm thinking I sort of have infrared. I have that camera eye in the
That works for
center.
me.
Okay, I could roll. I was going to say, but
Well, that works for me. So, yeah, as you look off to the distance, it's just on the edge of your vision of what you can see, but you see Morta and Master Alan, kind of grabbing a hold of her and dragging her out from underneath this pile of trowel. Once these flame, this torch goes out, they look like they're pretty much just go back to work. As you look around with your bit of vision, you can see in the distance where this cave-in was from above, and all the trout just pulling the bodies out, throwing them into carts. And every now and then, this loud cranking sort of sound echoes through, and you see this cart lift up off chains and start moving away as another one comes around and drops down for them to use.
So they stopped attacking. I can see that now. They're because I had my grenade launcher out ready and was going to select a perimeter around them to give them some time. But I cease fire and I move forward and I query, Master Walker, analyze cart. Should we hop in the cart?
Where's Nox? Is he not coming? Or should we?
He was supposed to be behind me.
Okay, well, what?
Him?
You don't have to. Oh, you should. Well, when I would see they're getting into the car, I'll probably, I would rappel down and follow quickly.
Yeah, we can wait for the next cart because I'm pretty sure by the time he gets down here, they should hopefully be finished, and then we could just ride on that cart. The question, though, or not question, but I guess the statement should be made that we should probably jump off the cart before they empty it, because if these corpses are probably going where I'm thinking they're going, we don't want to go there exactly.
Nox, as you get down there, since you have the best dark vision of the three, or four, as you get in with the others, and they mention this, you can look in the distance and see that this cart is hanging by, it looks like just like a couple chains from a rail overhead. It looks like it might have been an ore cart or something used just to pull stuff through the mine. It looks like around you, it looks like it was an old mining operation of some sort. But it goes down a good 60, 70 yards in the distance, and then it drops back down onto the ground. And down there, you can see more trow unloading these carts, all these bodies, onto what looks to be a large saucer, like a brass saucer. And then they just shove it around a corner. A few moments later, they come back around and do it again.
A brass saucer?
It looks like almost like a huge dinner plate. It's about 10 yards in diameter.
Before we get to the brass saucer, you guys see Morta staring at one of the dead trows, right? Dead trows?
Yep.
Yep. You'll see her staring at one of them, and all of a sudden, you'll see her face just instantly change into one of these trow, and she takes on the visage of the trow. Big ass beard and hanging down in front of her.
Nice.
She looks over and kind of gives out a little laugh because she sees you guys looking at her.
That's very different.
Whoa.
That's the first time you've ever done that, right? You haven't done that before?
Yeah.
Alan's just he's not sure what to think. He's just looking at you like he knows what you are, but he's never seen a changeling change before in front of him. And so he's just like flubbergasted at this point. And then he comes to the question, can you turn back to your, I guess, not normal self? Or is that your normal self? I'm confused. He just scratches his head.
Sure, I can change it, Will. I've done it before. It's been a while, but I can do it again.
Okay.
My true form is the form you know. I look like a human female, just like you know me to be.
Okay. So, yeah, what's ahead? Since you three are able to see, I guess I'm the only one that can't.
Are you all riding in the cart?
I believe so.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
The trowel that are around you, even if you climb into this cart next to them, or just sit there, they seem pretty much oblivious to you being there. I mean, they all look at you, and you can see they talk to one another in sort of this gibbering sort of voice, but they make no offense towards you. They don't really even acknowledge that you're there beyond a cursory glance. They'll pile this cart full of bodies, a good 20, 25 bodies, all trowel from underneath this cavern or this cave-in. You see some of them are clearly dead, crushed. Other ones look like they might have just had a leg crushed or an arm broken or something, and they're scrabbling to try and get back out of this cart. But the trowel are all around to shove them back in and pile more bodies on top of them, really oblivious to them even being there. Once this cart gets full enough, you see one over in the distance begin cranking a wheel, and it lifts up about 10 feet off the ground, starts moving down into the distance. As you go over top of these, you see more and more trowel below you, but they start to thin out a little bit. Most of them look back where the cave-in and the hole is, seem to be working. And then between there and where the saucer is, there's just a spattering of them. They'll walk back and forth. Some of them just kind of spin around in circles, not quite sure what to do. As you get to the end of this cavern, the cart drops down. Knox, you're the first one, kind of on the side, and one of these trowel grabs a hold of the front of you, just kind of heaving you up. They're a lot stronger than what they would look like. They're only a little bit bigger than you, but you can see he lifts you with just complete ease without even really acknowledging it. He kind of swaps you over to one hand. The other hand reaches out, grabbing a hold of you, Alan, and drags you from this thing, hurling both of you onto this saucer plate. And then he just turns around again and grabs a couple more bodies and just continues, him and another one, to pull the rest of the bodies and the rest of you out, heaving you onto this plate.
Is there, of course I can't see, so I'm going to ask this. Is there any of these creatures on the other side of the plate? Can we slip off this thing before they notice?
Yeah, I was going to try to, since I look like a trow, I was going to try to reach over, just the same motion the guy did to put them on, and just kind of like reach everybody and kind of push us off the side onto another area where we won't be.
There's a couple dozen of them around. As soon as you grab maybe Alan and pull him off, you can see the one beside you just grab him and toss him back on almost mindlessly. Anytime you try to pull one of them off, or anytime any of you try to pull yourself off, one of these things just grabs you and just kind of heaves you back onto the pile. Just completely mindless. Just motor skills, just keeps doing it.
Are they like completely surrounding the entire plate?
Pretty much, yeah. There's a couple dozen of them around. They're all getting ready to basically push this plate down the hallway.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna grab Nox and pick him up, and then yell out to Morta and say, "Back up a little bit," and I'm gonna throw Nox to Morta over these guys, so hopefully he can catch him and move in a opposite direction. And I don't think I can pick up Dio.
Does that work for you next, or do you not have a choice?
I'm not gonna
if he
fight him
doesn't
on
wanna
this.
go, I won't throw him.
I'm gonna go.
Yeah. So yeah, if you hurl him over top on the other side, Mortar, when you catch him, set him down, the trow that are around really don't even pay any heed to it. As long as you're not right there beside him or anything, they just wait until the moment to start pushing this plate in.
Huh.
Very
I'm
good.
gonna look at Dio. Maybe if we try to jump off instead of just sliding off. Like jump over their heads. What do you think, Dio?
I'm just trying to think. I got my flamethrower option.
Do you mention that, like, or can I see maybe the flamethrower?
Well,
like,
you
maybe
can see my
sparking a little
shoulder
bit, or-
pivot unit spin around to 180 and lock into the flamethrower cartridge and bring it around.
Well, actually, speaking of that, is there any light source where we are? Because I can't see.
Where you're at, no. I mean, just a little trickle from the distance and that hole overhead, but very little.
I'll turn on my driving lights. I have some minor lights on my body that I can hit.
That might be bad.
But and it'd be like a red light. It'd kind of give a weird. It enhances my vision, but you can still see. It'd be like you're in a dark room. Kind of red light.
Give me. How about an intellect challenge roll with one boon?
Okay.
Dio.
One boon. Okay. I think that worked.
Yeah, so as you kind of swivel around and get ready to light these up, you get the sense that these dwarves, obviously some sort of subterranean race, red light would probably be the best. They wouldn't notice the infrared vision or the infrared light compared to if you put on a bright normal halogen light or something. So when you kick that on, you can see a few of them blink a little bit and kind of stutter, but they go right back to the regular motions a second later.
Okay, and then I'll adjust it to until they're agitated. Then he might. I don't know how much radius that'll give, but I'll just keep going until they get aggravated, then shrink it, and then
do it about a 30-yard radius around you guys, or around you, Dio.
Dio, I want you to light this, and as I say that, I hold up a torch, and as soon as he lights it, I'm gonna throw it in the opposite direction that we want to go.
Okay.
So that way they will go after the light. We can jump down and scooch away before we become someone's supper.
I engage my go-go gadget butane torch, my pinky finger.
As he does these red lights, and gets ready to do this, if you look ahead of you, Nox, you'd be able to see into the room. Actually, all of you would be able to see into the next room. It opens up into a large chamber, about 60 yards in diameter. Nox, I think the only one who wouldn't be able to see everything would be Dio, but with what little bit of red light you have, Alan, you could see in there as well. But you can see about 30 yards away from just at the edge of this red light, this room, oval shaped, in the center of it is a large stone dais. And you can hear this thud and this crunching sort of sound as it rises up out of the ground and then stops. Wherever they were taking these plates into there before, you don't see any of these plates in there. And then I suppose you hold up your torch.
Yeah, unless one of the others stopped me, I probably would still do it. And because, we got to complete the mission.
Yeah, so Dio is...
Question is, can I throw it before I get mauled?
Dio, you see this spout of flame kind of go off and light up your torch. Why don't you give me an agility challenge roll with one bane, Alan?
Alrighty. One bang.
So yeah, as soon as this flash of flame goes off, you see the end of your torch just flare up. Swing around to get ready to hurl this thing, and something catches your foot. You look down to see one of these bodies getting hauled away, drags out from underneath you, and you hit the ground, this brass plate, hard. Within seconds, you have piles of these things are on top of you. Some of them pounding on you, some of them pounding on this torch. Let me see what happens with that, and then see what the others want to do. It's actually a hit. So, 4 points of damage you're going to take as these things just pound on you, trying to put out the flames. You can see they're trying to shield their eyes the best they can, completely missing the flames of the torch for a few.
A 22, unless
Yeah.
you got some other. A 22 will be a miss towards
23.
defense now.
23. Yep,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. So yeah, nothing. Never mind.
Okay.
I was thinking 21 was still 23 though. So yeah, they just continue to pound on you a few times, missing it. Eventually, putting out the flames of this thing. Again, it didn't look like they were trying to hurt you. Just put out the flame.
Yeah, my plan kind of backfired, but with that, I'm gonna try to run or crawl because they probably brought me down to the ground and just crawl towards my party and just get away from these guys while they're distracted. Hopefully.
All right. And Dio, you're right in the middle of this as well. What do you do?
Well, flames are bad, so the flamethrower is put away quickly. They stopped attacking him as soon as they put out the fire.
Yes. Yep.
And we're still on the plate, and I presume they're about to put us onto this dumbwaiter.
Yep.
That's going to take us down.
Yep. That's exactly what it looks like.
I cast the turret. Well, I prepare to cast the turret spell. This plate's sound enough. I can actually put my turret on it.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So I say let's prepare for defense and offense. Looks like we're going down, and I start putting together a little turret.
Well, hang on for a second. Is there any, like, once we get on the plate, or once they start moving the plate, is there any other of those creatures, like, along the path that the plate's going to go?
Nope. Besides those pushing it, nope.
Why don't we wait for when they start pushing the plate and then jump off? Then.
Yep. Well, and then try to escape, or we don't want to go down. That's where the queen is, right?
I don't think we want to ride on the plate, unless you have a bright idea of, us ambushing whatever's down there.
Walker's right.
From the plate.
Yeah, you got Nox and Mortar behind you too. You guys are behind. You can see everything that's going on, but the Trow really aren't paying any attention to you.
Right. Interesting.
I mean, we could ride down there, but I don't know what's down there. And once we get down there, what if the plate gets flipped over or just dumped, and then we get fallen and a bunch of bodies on top of us?
I'm assuming we may not have a choice, though, so just be prepared.
Okay.
But yeah, I agree. You make the call, we'll try escape, but I have a feeling these things are going to swarm us if we try to escape. They think we're bodies or something.
So, yeah, let's try to escape, and if we can't, then we'll just prepare for the worst. And with
Affirmative.
that, actually, Alan's going to reach down and rip off an arm or two of these corpses, and he's actually going to chuck one. Like, once we start moving a little bit, he's going to chuck one, and just to see what they do, see if they go after it or what.
Yeah. So yeah, as they finish taking off the last few of these bodies, throwing it onto this large plate, you can see a dozen of them surround this plate and grab a hold of it, lift it up just a little bit, and start moving it towards the stone dais thing. About halfway down this little slit, about 15 yards or so, you rip off one of these arms and throw it to the side. As soon as it goes over the side and it hits the ground, it makes that sort of echoing thud noise. You see one of these trout turn around and almost drop down to all four, just scurry across the ground to grab it, bring it back, almost just in a worker sense, throw it back onto the pile, and then get right back in place, continuing to move this thing.
Okay. So, Dio, maybe we should grab a body part, jump off, and at the same time throw a piece, or maybe actually carry 2 pieces, throw a piece, and then hold one, and then when one of these creatures try to come over and claim to put the body part back onto the pile, we place that in front of them so they'll grab that and not us.
Are Nox and Mortar, you guys following behind?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
grab Nox and I look at one of the trow, and kind of mockingly, because I know I don't speak their language, I look at them and I just kind of go, and they're looking at me like, what the fuck?
They just start. You see the one you talk to start spinning around in circles, kind of lays down on the ground, almost like it's chasing its own tail for a few moments, and then it just lies there.
In my head, I still see Morta still holding on to Nox, like ever since I threw Nox. He's just holding on to him, and he's just like, Now, whether that happens, that's a whole different story, but I just see that in my head.
What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to kind of fix my beard in a way that it's kind of a cushion to kind of set Nox in, kind of like a kangaroo pouch almost.
One of those little chest baby carriers. You got him hanging out the front, arms and legs wiggling. Nox and Morta, then, as you guys follow behind a few feet, as you enter through this room, both of you have good enough dark vision, and it even lights up, I guess, with Dio, your red lights. You see this large oval room, about 60 feet in diameter, pretty high ceilings, the stone dais in the center, but there's also 4 obelisks, probably maybe 15 feet high or so, in each, I guess it would be like compass corner in the northwest, south, and east corners that rise up. All 4 of them have different carvings, almost like totem poles raised in here. See these trout continue to move forward, getting ready to put the plate on this thing. A lot of them, 3 of them, then a 4th and a 5th, all let go of this plate as the edge of it reaches the stone dais, and they get ready to push this thing on. And they move over. You can see holes in the floor, about 1 foot in size, just big enough for like a head to fit through. You see one of these trout move over. It shoves his head down in there. Then you can hear the snapping and the cracking of his bones as they fold and meld, his body kind of compressing as he wiggles himself into this hole and goes down into the floor. The other ones begin to do it as well. As soon as they let go of this plate, they start wiggling down through these holes. Over to the side, you can hear more sounds, and if you look over, you see 4 or 5 of them coming up out of holes. Their bones, limbs, everything kind of snapping back into place as they pull themselves out of this hole and then run back across the floor, back out into the main cavern area again. Did you guys want to try and jump for it?
Well, I would have liked to try to jump before we entered the room, if that was possible.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Same with me.
Yeah.
So
All right.
Grabbing Nox for support so he doesn't fall
I
out.
have no like free will on the matter, so I'll just
wait.
I'll stay with you.
You guys are just walking behind, basically.
Yeah, you guys are fine. You're not on the disc, or at least that's what I know.
They're on the dinner
Or
plate, yeah.
What I remember.
They're just following behind. So yeah, if Alan, Dio, if you guys want to jump off this thing, I would need an agility challenge roll. And are you taking like body limbs and throwing some here? And
I'm following, Master Walker's lead. Yeah, that's a good call.
I'm going to try to do that. I'm going to try to have 2 limbs, and when I jump, and right before I land, I'm going to throw one off to the side, and then kind of take a step forward, and then put the other limb behind me, so that way they'll go after that and try to stay still.
okay.
So that way, hopefully, they'll go after them and not me as well. So you want agility?
Yep, you can give yourself a boon for that too.
Sweet.
Nice.
No Banes,
Nope.
right? Awesome. And man, I am rolling wonderful tonight,
Nice.
guys.
So you see, get all this ready. Dio leaps, you leap. He clambers down onto the ground in the distance as you hurl one way. You have that one in front of you. As soon as you turn around, you feel the grip of one of these things grab a hold. Looks like it's reaching out to grab a hold of the limb that you have, but it also gets a bit of your shirt, your vestment in it as well, and just kind of heaves you up over his shoulder, slamming me back down onto the dinner plate. Dio, you get off just fine, a few feet back. You see one of these limbs kind of fall beside your feet where Alan threw it. This trowel runs over, scoops it up, runs back to his place, putting the body limb back on the plate. And all of them continue just to slide this plate onto this dais.
I'm going to just start chucking body parts at this point, just like trying to get as many of them away and then jump off again.
All right. So yeah, begin heaving. You see the plate just drops. As dozen of them, kind of running in different directions, all gathering up these things. You can step off and try to get away if you would like.
Yes.
And then the other ones, they all come back in, putting body limbs. They all kind of stop for a few moments, trying to pile everything back up on their plate, slide it onto this dais. As it sets down onto this, they all step back, and then they all put their heads down in these little holes and start scurrying down, almost like worms, down through these little holes in the floor till they're out of sight. This whole dais turns a little bit, shakes, the whole ground shakes, and then you see it slowly start to move clockwise, spin clockwise, almost like a bolt on a screw or something, and slowly start spinning down into the ground.
Mm-hmm. Is just the dais spinning, or is the whole floor spinning?
The whole dais is. It's about 15 feet in diameter. The rest of the floor is solid, though.
Am I still on the dais?
Nope, you would have been able, once you threw all the body parts everywhere, and scoop off behind the others. The ones coming up out of the floor just run past you guys without even really paying attention.
Okay. So after
2 or 3 minutes, this dais, you can still hear it cranking down into the ground, but it's out of sight as far as you guys can see anyway. You have the 4 obelisks in each corner, and a few trow every now and then. One will scurry up out of a hole or run into the room and scurry down a hole, but that's it.
Dio, can you see where the dais went? Because I'm pretty sure he has a little bit further range of sight than I do, because I can only see what he's giving off.
Knox has the best.
Oh, well, did they? So all of us are in the same room?
Yeah. They followed behind a few feet as well.
Yeah. Then I would ask Knox. And actually, I'm going to ask and then kind of look over, and it's like, why are you still holding him?
Oh, because we like it both. Obviously.
Okay. And I just kind of like hold out my hands like, okay, can you see down the hole and see where it leads?
I'll check it out.
Glance over, Knox. It just goes into eventual blackness as far as you can see. If you had to guess, normally you'd be able to see a good 200, 300 feet in decent lighting, and it's beyond that at this point. You can still hear the cranking and the grinding of this dais, the scraping of stone on stone as it goes down into the ground. Sounds like it's pretty far down there, but it's echoing up out of this chamber.
Maybe you were right, Dio. We probably should have stayed on it, but after all that fighting of getting off of it, I don't think I want to get back on it.
We have to get down there, though. Is there exits from this chamber we're in?
Nope, that's the only one. You hear this heavy thud, and kind of echoes up out of this hole in the ground. If all of you look over, you can see a bright orangish colored light, almost like flames would give off. You can see the shadows dancing along the headstones, and this way down is just a pinprick of light down. You're guessing maybe 500 or more feet below you. You can see this orangish light as whatever is down there kind of comes into view. Stays there for 2 or 3 minutes, and then you hear the cranking and the grinding once again. It's there for a few more moments, and then it's just darkness once again, and it sounds like it's slowly starting to rise back up. Probably took maybe 10 minutes altogether to reach the bottom and start coming back up.
As it's riding back up, I'm going to kind of look at the obelisk that's in the room and see if there's any markings, writings.
Yep, all of them are carved. It looks like strange dwarven ruins. You can see what look to be normal-looking dwarves, at least of what you would have ever seen, the more stout-built, plate mail armored sort of dwarves. All of these obelisks have different pictures. A lot of them have what look to be large humanoids that are around the dwarves as well. You can see the dwarves worshiping them. Every one of them down at the base of it has a line, one line on one. The next one has two. One has 3 lines. One has 4. It's at the base on each side of the obelisk. Right above that is a handprint. It's been, looks like when it was like still wet stone or whatever, somebody placed their hand into to leave a print.
Interesting.
By the way, I just looked up my character sheet. I do speak Dwarvish.
Oh, okay.
Whether it's the same kind of dialect?
Not
like,
really,
because
but
it's
you're
hard.
able to pull out bits and pieces. It looks like...
I also do too.
Okay, so both of you then. It's an ancient, and it looks like it's some sort of twisted, kind of ruined version of Dwarven, but you can pick out words here and there. Seems to be mentioning sacrificial rituals, things about worshipping the bloated queen. One about the gluttonous whore.
Oh. Nox, you have poison, don't you?
Well, yes, I do.
What if you put the poison on the corpses, and then hopefully these corpses are going to the queen and not just the other giants, and she eats those corpses and gets sick. Hopefully dies, because I don't know what kind of... And then as I say that, I kind of think about that mysterious tonic potion thing that oh, I forgot his name. Goober gave me.
Yak.
Yeah, yak. And just like almost think about putting that on there, but it's like, this might help us.
Well, Alan, this was the first smart idea I've ever heard from you. Like, I thought you were dumb, but this, okay. I'm gonna use the poison then. So out of character, I have 3 doses. I assume I can like make one of those corpses poisoned by one of those.
You do know, technically, yeah, but the poisons, I mean, if you're trying to poison a giant, it would probably take more than 1 dose that would normally work for a human to poison 1 giant, because they're so much bigger.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't know how big the queen is, if that's what you're assuming, to if it would work or not. I mean, that's your call. It would probably need at least more than 1, though, for your standard human compared to a giant.
I mean, I have a strong poison. Okay.
I mean,
all 3.
I didn't know how much you had, so.
Well, I mean, here's the thing.
Trigger
According to the rules I read, it is beneficial for the creature to be poisoned by food and then struck by a poisoned arrow or something. That's like super wombo combo damage, which I could maybe one-shot her even. That would be awesome. But so I think maybe I could use 2 doses of poison on the corpses or on the thing, and I would use 1 additional dosage on 3 of my darts.
Okay. You'd have to wait for the next plate to come through, because the other one's already down below, but yeah.
Can we somehow ensure that this gets to the queen? I'm wondering.
I don't know if we can. I
You
don't
have
see.
to follow it.
Well, we can either do that, like poison the plate, or we can try to write it down and then get off of it before it stops completely. Hopefully it doesn't go directly to the queen and it has to travel somewhere else to get to the queen.
As you finish your sentence, you can hear that long, droning out sound of a trumpet again. This time it doesn't seem to bother any of you. It's obnoxious sounding, echoes through these chambers, but for the most part, none of you feel lightheaded. You don't get teleported anywhere. But you can hear the pounding of feet and the scrabbling of these trow as all of them from that chamber beyond just pour into this room, wiggling down these holes. Those that are starting to come up out of the hole kind of pop out, turn around, and just go right back down into this hole. Dozens upon dozens just float over top of you guys and down through these little tunnels in the floor. till a few scrabblers are left behind running through.
Are they panicking, or are they just seem like they have more of a purpose now, like they're doing a job?
More like they're just like doing a job,
Oh,
or they were called forth or something. By the time most of them get down into the floor, you can see that dais slowly come up out of the floor, rises up about 2 feet, and locks back into position with a heavy thud.
well, whatever it is that we're going to decide to do, I think we need to make a decision.
What's left of the last dozen trow or so move in with a plate. It's only about half full, but they slide it onto the dais and quickly back away and pull down through this hole.
So can we get onto the dais, not onto the dinner plate? Is that possible?
Dinner plate takes up a good 90% of it, but I mean, you could stand to the side if you wanted.
Should we do that or poison? Alan's kind of looking at you guys, and if you don't make a decision, Alan's just going to probably just stand on the dais. So I'm just throwing that out there. And you're being attacked by a cat. There's DL.
I know. I've been fighting this thing for the last 5 minutes. Get going. Yeah, I'm trying to think here. I'm going to cast that turret on there when we go down. Right?
Well, that's kind of up to you. Like, I don't know if we should be in combat mode or if we're going to poison the thing. Like,
right.
Well, Morta reaches into his beard and pulls out the warhammer.
Nice.
In your beard sling. As the last, couple scraggling trow run in, slither down one of these little holes, you guys are left just pretty much just silence.
so they're looking back at the other tunnel. Do we see them? Are they any more drow down that way?
You can see just a few scragglers here and there, but for the most part, 99% of them are already down below.
Okay, so they're not working on bringing another plate.
Nope.
Oh. So maybe we should try to operate this dais ourselves or figure out a way to make it go down. Because if they're not going to bring in another plate, then we either have to go through the holes that they're going through, and he kind of looks at himself and look at one of those holes, because I'm pretty sure it's much smaller than what he is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Nox probably wouldn't even fit because they're contorting themselves and snapping limbs and crap.
How about my little mouse skeleton?
Yeah, that would definitely fit down a hole.
Stuart. We'll put little Stuart. All right. Let's pass him down there. Go on, little Stuart. Go on.
Can you talk to it or do anything with it, or?
Well, he's my special item, and he's animated, but I'm not sure that he really understands what I say so much. Kind of like a little wind-up toy, but
yeah,
he'll come back. I mean, he'll come back if he can.
Yeah, if you let him go, you can hear as he kind of slinks down. It sounds almost like a rather long drop, and you can hear the bones tinkling against the side of this tunnel into the distance. And then silence as he disappears into this darkness of this hole.
I think it's pretty far down, fellas.
Okay. And with that, Alan's just going to step on the dais and see what happens, but he's going to be kind of looking around the dais to see if there's a way to activate it or anything like that, or...
give me a will challenge roll.
Any boons or banes?
Just straight up.
All right. Let's see if I could roll above a 10 tonight. Yay!
Yeah.
16.
Nice. So you remember as you were jumping off this plate and throwing those body limbs everywhere, trying to get off there, as they slid the last on for the trowel, move over to the corners, placing their hands in these little handprints of the dais, and then backing away and slithering down into these holes.
Okay. Did it take 4 of them
Yep.
to do it for each obelisk?
Yep. And it was slow to go. I mean, they did that and then it slowly started cranking down.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna run over to the obelisk and say to everyone else to get to a different obelisk to basically activate it so we can go down. If no one else has any objections.
No, you've been making good calls.
Let's do it.
Yep.
All right. Alan, which number do you pick? The one with 1, 2, 3, or 4?
If I had easy access to a D4, I would just roll it. But I'm going to say 2.
2.
I like 2.
Okay. So as you move over, and you have to crouch down a little bit and place your hand on this, you can see the hands are about the same size as yours. They look much meatier, but they're roughly the same size. But as soon as you place your hand on there, you get this vision that kind of floods through your brain. And you see this woman, looks like she was quite beautiful at one time, but she looks a little bit ragged now, kind of beat up. She resides on this huge throne made out of stone, bones, looks maybe some sort of fancy metals or something. And you see all these little dwarves. They don't look as sickly as what you see them now. They're still a little gangly, a little thin, a little decrepit, but not nearly as sickly as they look now, waiting on her, bringing her food. To see huge platters of food, fruits, meats, everything else. It looks a little bit rotten. These dwarves are quite filthy as round, and anytime she drops a bone or a morsel or a crumb falls out of her mouth or whatever, they'll scrabble over in a hurry, grabbing it and shoving it into their own mouth, just waiting. Other ones are around her just bowing on their knees in worship, and then the vision's gone. You see the dais click a little bit to the left.
With that roll I made, could I also maybe remember what order they did it in? Activating the obelisk?
Oh, they just all ran over and there didn't look like there was any order itself. It just hurried up and did it.
All right, well, after I press mine, I'm going to start moving to the center, waiting for the others.
In that case, Morta, which one do you pick?
I picked number 4.
All right. So as you move over, place your hand. It's almost the same size. Your fingers are much skinnier now, though. Into this little handprint, you see this huge, bloated form of a woman. Most of her hair is gone, just a few wisps of this blonde hair. She's covered in open sores. She sits atop this huge mound of excrement, feces, bloated, look to be bodies, younger, like children and babies, just kind of sticking out of this huge pile of filth. You see this weird screeching sound. You can't hear it, but yet you have the feeling that you can hear it. And as you look down, you can see this sickly dwarven infant thing burst forth from its genitals, crawling away slowly as it tries to get away. And she just reaches down, her hand about the size of its head, and grabs it, and shoves it into her mouth. And then the vision's gone. See the dais click a few more times into place and start to lower a few more feet. Next, you want number 2 or 3? Or I'm sorry, 1 or 3?
1.
So as you place your hand is much smaller than the ones that are there. But you get this overwhelming sense of glory, of ambition, of heroics. And you see this woman, long, flowing hair. She has on a simple, like, sorceress outfit, but it's been plated with plates of gold and what looked to be almost like a polished silver mirror. All around her, you see these soldiers, knights, squires, all in full battle regalia, glowing bright colored. And they're all fighting off these filthy dwarves. Giants are all around in the distance. And then you see just darkness, almost like this cave that you're in now. And you see this woman standing there. And she's working her way towards what looks to be this huge, giant, bloated. You immediately think it must be the queen, covered in disgusting gore, slime. As she battles forward, you can see waves of magic just roll off of her hands, blowing apart these dwarves that are around her. As she gets close, she reaches behind her back and pulls out this thin, long-bladed rapier. You can see when she rises up into the air, it's sort of behind this creature, and she just drives right to the hilt, this blade into the back of its head. It lets out this loud screech, and she's just covered in black gore and blood that drips off her. You see this long smile spread across her face, these white teeth gleaming out from the black blood. And then that vision is gone. The dice clicks a few more times and drops down, leaving Dio to stand there with the last obelisk.
I do it as well. I engage.
Yeah, right. So as you put your hand into this place, it's nothing shaped like yours or looks like yours. But you get this vision that rolls across your lens of a large, obese woman sitting on this pile. You can see parts of what used to maybe be a throne made out of wood and bits of metal and stuff. Now it's just covered in filth, dirt, bones, her own filth. All around her, these huge bonfires rage. And all the people, you see these dwarves, much like the ones that you've been seeing. They crawl across the ground. They look like they're just completely wrecked with disease. Some of them have deformations. All she does is sit there and eat, devouring entire shanks. She'll reach over, grab some of these wretched dwarves. She's much larger than them, picking them up and chewing on them, only to vomit them up again onto these plates and begin eating it all once again. Then this vision slowly washes away. This time the dais clicks a few more times and just continues to keep lowering down into the ground.
Whoa.
When all four of us gets on the dais and we start going down, Alan's going to describe what he saw to every detail of like what the woman looked like, kind of deal. And also like what room they were in. So.
Okay, I also describe, I analyze, and is there differences in our stories? There's some differences I noticed, of course, but I wouldn't have known that unless we share.
Yeah, or does the other two share?
Yeah, Morta's gonna come and tell about her vision of the woman eating the body.
Okay.
And Nox would do the same. Yeah.
From their description, does it sound like maybe the woman is the same? Like, is that?
Yeah, if they describe her, it looks like she's getting much larger, much more obese, and much more deformed, but the same woman, yes.
So is it maybe her through the time as she gets older, or?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm guessing. That's what it is. But going to the first one, when I'm assuming that's I forgot her name again.
Abigail.
But anyways, I'm assuming, yeah, Abigail. She stabs the queen. Does it look like Abigail is in the second one as well?
That's what it looks. Yeah, if they describe it, that's who you would have saw sitting on a throne. She doesn't look too bad in the vision that you have of her, Alan. So you would recognize it. I mean, there's tapestries and things like that around. You've probably seen as a child about her story, and it looks just like her, just larger and a little more grotesque.
Oh wow! So I was right. Okay. Oh man, so that's what happened to her. She became what she killed.
This dais goes down as you all talk about this. It's been 7-8 minutes. just slowly going down. You can feel the temperature rising, getting hotter and hotter. You all break out in a little bit of a sweat. Then a heavy thud. This whole thing just comes to a complete stop, leaving you, deep down in this tunnel in the darkness. You can't hear anything. The ground itself seems quite warm. You can see that there must be something below that's heating up, but just this dead silence and heat. And you sit there.
This isn't good.
And with that, we will take a quick break and then start the second half. Well,
Awesome. What a cliffhanger.
All right,
Back
I
in a
will be
minute.
right back. Just waiting on Darren. Yeah, between an hour and a half is what we should have. Just a little behind what I was figuring, so not bad.
So I guess we can finish this up in this session, right?
Yep.
No
Definitely.
no need for. Okay.
Nope.
I volunteer Nox to be the new queen. I'm just throwing.
Yeah, I
that
was
out
just
there.
about to say that one of us has to become that. No, I mean I have a business. I opened up the business. You know, I have a venture. I cannot become a queen.
I know. Then everybody would be riding on you. That wouldn't be right.
Yeah, that's just fucked up, right? I mean,
All of us have a business, technically, because I have my farm. Carlos has, Martha has her, herb garden thing that she does. So, and Dio helps me, and I need Dio, so he can. And plus, he's a machine. How
okay,
can he-
we're gonna we're gonna decide after we each get like the yearly revenue, right? We'll compare the yearly revenues, and the business with the least month of revenue is gonna become
The least
You're also
profitable.
the smallest.
the least profitable business is gonna.
You're also the smallest, and so I think we can force you into that position a lot easier than any of the other ones.
Oh, I can
And-
kill you in one hit, man. Just don't even. It's just like,
Yeah, you still got all that poison. Don't worry.
yeah, I can't ride myself. That would be weird. Like giant rider becoming a giant and riding himself. What the hell?
Well, that would be the perfect thing of irony.
Yeah, well,
The giant
maybe I would
rider
become
becomes the
like
giant.
human-sized, you know.
It would just be
And some
weird.
little goblin, I would become like human-sized or something.
Alright. Alrighty. So yeah, you guys just come to a complete stop. You can feel the temperature rising, beginning to sweat. It's not horrible, but it's definitely uncomfortable.
So there's no way out, kind of deal. Like there's no sides. It's just a hole in the.
Yeah, but I mean, their sides are stone, but if you want to go over there, kind of feel them, you can see these are worn smooth by years and years of this basically dummy waiter going up and down, elevator type thing. Climbing up, it looks almost impossible.
So what happens? Alan's actually saying this out loud. So what happens now? Does others have comments?
You're just greeted with silence. It's almost unbearable, uncomfortable. I need will challenge rolls from everybody. Give yourself one Bane even.
Yeah,
Oh.
I like the Bane.
Yeah,
Doesn't hurt my roll most of the time. See,
It was good.
it doesn't hurt my rolls having Bane.
What'd I get? Oh, you got a
Good.
-2?
Yeah,
So, Alan, I need a D100 from you as well.
awesome.
I got a 10 there, Morgan.
All right, you're good. So, Alan and Knox, both of you can just feel a bit of panic, a bit of fear creeping in as you're just left sitting here in the darkness. Pretty much no way out. Up above you, it's a good maybe 350, 400 feet of just smooth stone wall. Uncomfortably hot. You can feel your feet warming up on the bottom of this. The walls are warm, beginning to sweat a bit. I only needed it from Alan because he got a negative number and a 56. As you sit here in the darkness, Alan, you can feel that fear welling up. Both of you are going to be frightened, which means you are going to have one Bane for a number of minutes equal to whatever your insanity score is. And it's going to give you 1 insanity for being frightened.
Okay, so does it count afterwards or?
Nope, with it. So give yourself 1 insanity with whatever you have now, and then you're
And
going to be feared for that many minutes.
Okay. All right, so 1 minute for me.
And probably 1 minute for you too, I think, right next. Because I really didn't get into too much insanity in this game. So yeah, both of you are just going to be frightened. But it's going to hang on, as long as you're sitting here. And Alan, you are accosted by hallucinations. What are they?
They're actually going to be hallucinations of people that he has killed. And sitting here, I kind of imagine he's in the dead center of this little plate that we're on, or I say little, but and one after another, a person appears, like the first person he killed in the war, and it's just a teenager, just probably about the age of 13. Looks like he could barely hold the weapon that he is carrying. And Alan, if you look at him, his face just goes pale white, and he's just like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And then another person appears, and this time it's a woman, a bit older, probably in her 20s, but she has her throat slashed, and he's just haunted by this, and it just keeps going on and on as this whole room to him is filled with people that he has killed. And it's almost like they're starting to pop on top of each other, or like basically be inside of each other, just as many people, like.
Nice.
And he is just freaking out, and he starts backing up to the wall, the smooth wall, and it gets to the point where he's actually going to start punching at this wall, trying to get away from these people.
Nice.
And the whole time he's saying, I'm sorry, it was war. I had to do it. I was trying to save my people.
And Knox, you can feel this fear creeping up in you. You don't get the hallucinations or anything. You can see Alan acting kind of strange, but how does this fear affect you?
I guess he would experience one of the most horrible feels for him. That would be loneliness, because, like, although he likes to, work alone and like do stuff by himself, he always has some sort of, he has insurances that like people are around him, or like, that he's not alone. But in this darkness, he feels like he's just this teeny weeny little goblin in a dragon suit in darkness, alone completely,
Nice.
without anyone.
So Morta and Dio, you guys can see as Alan begins to tremble. He mentions this over and over again that he didn't mean to do it. It was for the war. Begin this bashing the wall. You can hear his fingers cracking. See the blood kind of smearing across the wall. Knox is in the corner. You can see him shivering despite the heat that's in this little plate or this little area that you're in. What are you two doing?
I recognize he's in distress, and I scan the area and I don't see his illusion, and I quickly conclude that he must be restrained, and I simply grab my go-go gadget clamps and restrain him while shooting a laser into his eye to try shock him. Flash, 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 flash.
I think at first, if you grab him first and then do the laser, like, he would try to fight you off. Because
wake up.
Like,
Bad
to
dream.
him, he's seeing that these people are grabbing him now, and that's just like pushing him over the top. Like, he is really freaking out.
Right.
So you can see Dio and Alan not fighting, but struggling against each other. Knox in the corner shivering. What is Morta doing in this darkness, emptiness?
I'm just gonna try to get as close as I can to to Dio or Alan.
As you move over beside him, you can feel this dais below you click a little bit. Once again, it slowly, very slowly, begins to turn. You can feel the walls kind of brush against your fingers, lowering down very, very slowly. And you see this orange bead of light appear in the corner, and then it surrounds the whole thing as the bottom of this breaks free of this tunnel into the room that's below. It drops down, so there's only maybe an inch, 2-inch gap, orange light filtering through. Once you see this light, Knox kind of are able to give a breath of relief almost, knowing that you're not going to be stuck in there. And same with you as well, Alan. Still accosted by these visions. These people around you. And Dio, you hold on to them. But very, very slowly, this dais slowly comes down. What do you guys do?
He's still struggling, obviously. He's fighting me.
Yep.
What if I put 100 volts into him? It works for me. So it's my wake-up alarm.
Shock him. Shock therapy.
Wake up. Bzz. That'll stun him. It'll stun him. Like, it'll be... He'll just like, holy... Like, sticking your finger in a light socket.
Yeah, you send these through him. Throws you back, Alan, but you kind of see all these hallucinations melt away, almost like a wet oil painting. They just kind of slither down to the floor and dissipate. As you start to come to, you still have that panicked, pounding in your chest, pounding in the back of your skull. You can feel your blood pressure. Your adrenaline is just roaring as you try to calm yourself the best you can, but your whole body is just basically going nuts at the moment. Same with you as well, Knox. As this dais continues to come through, you get your first view of this room below you. You can see, once it gets about a foot, and all of you kind of crouch down to look out, this large, expansive chamber. It goes off a good 200 yards, maybe more. The entire walls are lit with large bonfires. The floor runs with veins of molten lava, stone, trickle across, almost like veins across the floor. The flames dance along the walls, these bonfires. You can see dozens of these trowel moving about, some of them carrying bodies, some carrying rock, other ones doing mining work, just kind of going on with whatever mindless job they've been given. The smoke, fumes of this lava all kind of almost rush into this hole once the atmosphere breaks, once the pressure's gone, and it rushes up this tunnel up into above you. So all of you are stuck, eyes watering, burning. You can smell nothing but what smells like burnt hair. And the dais continues to go down, eventually coming to a stop about 15 feet off the ground. Above you, about 20 feet is where the hole is, so you're kind of in the middle chamber area. All along the ceiling, you see rail carts. Almost looks like an upside-down railroad ties or tracks that runs along the walls, across the ceilings, and off into the distance around a corner. Every 20, 30 feet, a long, heavy chain hangs that goes to the corner of an ore cart, an iron ore cart, hanging it in the air. And it slowly continues just to circle around. You see some in the distance go around the corners, other ones come around the other way and start to come towards you. It looks like an old iron foundry, basically. You can see bits and pieces of the ore, large chunks still lying on the ground, some old smithing tools, large heavy gears on the walls cranking. They're connected to other gears that are connected to wires and chains.
I'd be very interested in this. Is it functional? Like, it's old and decrepit?
It's a lot of it's heavily worn. A lot of it doesn't seem to be working. But the main rail carts and things, they're going, slowly moving. You think they probably, when they were good, moved a lot quicker, but they're definitely moving along. And every now and then, you can see a cart pass by that's loaded up with dirt. Some have ore, some have bodies in it.
That's what I was going to ask.
I also
a couple
query
of them pass, like almost within hand's reach of you. The ones on the back side.
Well, I guess the bigger question: am I still frightened at this
Yeah,
point?
I was just going to ask. Master Walker was
Yeah, you
feeling
guys
better.
would be frightened for a few, but I mean, you're functional. You're not hallucinating or anything. You're shaken up.
Like, each time a cart would pass by, he would kind of like jump at it, and each time anything like kind of moved that he wasn't looking at, like passed through his peripheral vision, he would just jump at it and be like overly enthusiastic about it too, as well. Not doing it on purpose, just being frightened.
This loud screech echoes from, and if all of you glance over, you see a trowel flailing about as it stepped into one of these little crack, these fissures in the ground that's filled with lava. His body just slowly melts down into the rock and is gone. He took a misstep.
Oh, he
You
took a
don't see-
misstep. Okay.
You don't see any of these other brass plates or where they were going or anything. The dais just stops where you're at. None of them really seem interested in it at the moment.
There's no trail. Like.
Nope.
Okay. Well, I think Alan would probably get off of it and go. Probably in a corner. Like he would try to find a corner at this point because he's still like in that frightened stage.
You're about 15 feet off the ground, the dais is.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, just this huge, huge chamber.
What is the ground bit like?
Just heavy rocks, bits and pieces of debris crumbling around. It's filled with cracks that flow almost like little miniature rivers of lava. All of them flow north, which should be the main opening, but it goes off into the distance and around a corner.
Do we have any rope left?
You only needed 3 to get down, so somebody would still have one.
Yeah, that's. I'm kind of asking them if they have any spare rope.
One of us would hand over, whoever. Okay. Yeah. What's your plan?
And he's just looking at you, Dio, and he ties the rope to you, throws the rope off, and climbs down the rope.
I'm like 350 pounds, yeah.
But yeah, at this point, he's not thinking clearly. He is frightened, and he wants to get off this thing. So,
Roger that. I can lower him too.
Yeah, if you want to do that, then tie that off. You can lower it down to the ground. Hot, sooty. You can see these trowel moving about. None of them really pay you any heed. And it just goes off into the distance. A long way down, good, like I said, 200, 300 yards into the distance before the cavern wraps around the corner, kind of out of sight. The tracks on the ceiling, you see, they come in on the left-hand side across the ceiling, they circle around behind you, and then go back out on the right-hand side and around the corner. So it's just like a constant loop.
Right.
Okay.
What are the other 3 doing as you see Alan clamber down under the ground?
Yeah, I follow him. I usually close around him, I'm using my root or core programming or bodyguard unit. So I watch where he goes and just kind of cover him and the party. I arm my grenade launcher.
Yes. As you touch down, the whole floor shakes, quakes, and you hear what sounds to be this great belch echo from the distance around the corner. Slowly, a thick green haze kind of flows across the ground, starting to dissipate a little bit.
At the moment, with Alan still being frightened, he would just kind of wait for the group and then wait to see what they would do. But kind of like once he starts becoming not frightened anymore, he would start heading off in that direction. So I'll just kind of wait and see what the group does.
Well, Morta's going to try to find a way down.
And Nox would try to stay with the party because still being afraid of being alone, he would at least try to follow the only friendly beings around him. So
yeah. So all 4 of you touch down. Over on Roll20, I swapped it around. It's a really crude looking map, but you can kind of get an idea of what I'm describing. We see this long, just oval sort of shaped chamber. The black line there would be the route of the carts, which are going down on the left-hand side and up on the right-hand side, back around. About every 20, 30 feet is one of these carts hanging from this railing. You guys can only move a little ways. You can feel the floor beneath you tremble a little bit. especially under you, Dio. Whenever you move, it gives way a little bit. Some of it kind of crawls under, and you can see small little fissures cracking across the ground where this lava is. The trial themselves seem to be moving okay across it, but anybody heavy like Dio, probably you as well, Alan, because you're fairly decent size, can feel it kind of, it's almost like the ground is hollow beneath your feet. Any big weight would probably crash through.
Uh-oh.
So you get only maybe 20, 30 feet before you kind of, if you really want to go the whole distance on foot.
Yeah, I look. Is he looking better?
Yeah. After a few
Walker
minutes, both of you,
recovered.
Knox and Alan, you can feel all right.
Are you ready? You guys ready to proceed?
Yes.
Should we follow the chain line, go around the corner?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yes.
Okay, I'll take point. Or who's quiet? I'm pretty loud. Like I'm like clang.
Well,
Dio, give me an agility challenge roll. 3 Banes.
Agility?
Yep.
Oh dear. A trap or something.
while he's doing that, the carts, are any of the carts down on the floor level?
Or
You're
I
good.
did correct that, but it's
Oh wow.
what I did is I accidentally put 3 boons, so I put 6 banes.
Oh, it still won't work right.
Oh, okay, should I do it again? Roll again?
Yeah. When the carts stop every few minutes, one of them will look kind of lower down, like they're supposed to be filling it with stuff, but then it just raises back up and starts to go again. So there's none like necessarily resting on the floor, but there's ones coming down every now and then.
So
Roger.
there is a way for us to get up and
Oh, yeah. As you step forward, Dio, you can clamp down and you feel the floor beneath you just give out, drops down 15, 20 feet, and it's just this huge flow of lava going underneath. See a few burbles kind of blurp up. Doesn't quite hit you, but yeah, the ground is not safe here.
Roger.
How big are the carts? Can all 4 of us fit in one cart, or do we need?
Oh
to
yeah,
separate up?
it would probably look like it'd fit a good 12 people or more.
Oh, okay. Riding the carts.
Yeah, it's time.
Yeah, let's get in the cart.
They're 10 feet long and 8 feet wide and about 4 feet deep. So
Oh wow.
Yeah, we'll fit.
so off to the side, you see one that's down. I will need agility challenge rolls from everybody to get over there.
I just made one. I have to do another one.
I can use yours. You guys see Dio running quickly. The floor collapsing beneath his feet falls. As he clambers into this cart.
Clang, clang, clang.
Boons or banes?
3 Banes.
Okay. So, good news, guys. I'm probably going to be falling into the hole.
You have a tendency.
Yep.
Oh, 2 knocks.
What 4 are 3 banes if I roll a 2 on a d20?
3 banes. I also rolled a 2.
A 2.
Which for me is a total of 5, but with the 3 banes, it would be a total of
Not good.
-7.
So,
But here's the question, though. Like, seeing how all 3 of us are falling, can I grab Knox and throw him,
oh yeah, sure.
at least to safety?
Sure.
Okay. If I could, I would grab Mortho, if I could say her name right, grab her as well and throw her, but seeing how Knox is probably going to be the lightest and the easiest, I would throw him first.
So yeah, you guys rush forward. Almost, maybe if Dio wouldn't have ran ahead and collapsed the floor, if he would have had better luck. But you see the cracks just fissure across the ground as you're running. And beside you, Knox is trying to keep up. Mort on the other side. You feel your foot go down, and this burning sensation just tear into your foot as a bit of this lava splashes along the side of your heel. Do you want to go ahead and throw Knox? Well, Knox or Mortha? You get your pick.
If they'll let me, I will throw both of them. But
Grab me by the beard.
I think I would throw Nox first, just because, like I said, he's the lightest and the easiest.
Okay.
To throw.
Give me a strength challenge roll then. He's small. I'll even give you a boon.
Yay!
Oh yeah.
I like boons. No boons, correct? Awesome. 18.
Grab him and hurl him ahead. You're going to take 5 damage from the lava that splashes up on your leg. You can feel your body dropping as you start to go through these cracks in the floor. If you want to try and do Morta, it'll be with 2 Banes, but you can give it a shot.
Yeah, I'm going to try to get the party to safety.
All right.
So, no boons, 2 Banes. Let's see what we get. A 2. Oh no.
So as you reach out and grabbing a hold of Morta, getting ready to hurl her forward, you can feel as your leg drops out from under you, and you pretty much just drag her with you through this crack in the ground. It's not huge. It's only a couple feet wide, so you're able to drop down to about where your arms are, but your lower half touches across this lava. Same as you, Morta, and you feel the flames, this molten rock, just melting into your flesh.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, I'm going to try to hold Morta up higher.
Okay. So 7 points to you, Alan, and I'll just do 1d6 for her then. 3 to you, Morta. A few bits of blobs kind of splatter on your back as he shoves you forward. You're able to grasp just the side of that cart. Dio and Nox, you guys can pull her in. You see Alan, he's braced himself up in this crack. The tougher half of his torso is out of the crack, but the other half is down below. The flames, this molten lava, licking at his heels, up the back of his legs. You can feel the cart that you're in jerk, and then it starts to raise off the floor to go back up.
Try to grab the cart, or try to climb as much as possible so I can get up to the cart.
What do you other 3 do?
I'm going to try to climb up and grab onto the cart.
Yeah, Dio and Nox can pull you over.
Yeah, can we give them a boon or something, or help them out in any way?
Yeah, if somebody wants to aid Alan in getting there before he gets caught down below, it would give him 1 boon. Just tell me how to do it.
So, I have a cloak in my equipment, so I would kind of use that as a makeshift rope, and maybe try to hang it by the cart and try to leap for him and help him out in that way. And if Dio could hold me up,
Oh, yeah, I can brace you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, Dio's on one end, bracing as you're clambering into the cart. Morta, see Nox as he kind of goes over the side, hanging on to his cloak, trying to get the other end towards Alan. Your choice, Alan. It'll be 3d6 damage, straight up, or if you want to roll an agility challenge roll with 1 Bane and succeed, it'll be no damage. But if you fail, it'll be 6d6.
Yeah, I gotta go for it because, well, if I take the 3d6, do I still get up there or?
Yep.
Okay. I'm just gonna take the 3d6 then.
All right.
Because with the way I've been rolling tonight, I think that might be the better option.
Oh, I don't think so, buddy.
Yeah, that's.
You pull yourself forward, and you can feel these rocks around you just giving away, crashing down. Your foot's kind of drag across the top of this molten stone. Some of it washes across your leg. You can feel the hair, the skin just melting from the bone. By the time he comes out, you can see nothing but blood and cindered flesh and the hair stuck to his pants from basically the waist down.
Oh.
Might help with your erection later, though, if you take that potion. It's kind of a 50-50 now. Don't know what's left. But, yeah, you're able to grab a hold of the end of the cloak where Nox is holding on to as this cart goes up, and it kind of lifts you out of this hole that you're trapped in, along with the cart. Dio, give me an strength challenge roll with 1 boon to lift these guys up into the cart.
Roger that.
You can see the cart's lifting up about 10 feet, 15 feet, 20, as he's pulling you guys in.
Okay, I swivel around. Just hydraulics kick in.
Yeah, you lift them out like nothing. It gets about 30 feet above, and then you can feel this whole track start kicking in again, and it starts to go around. You go down along the left-hand side of this huge cavern, around the back side, start going back around on the right-hand side, further deeper into the tunnel. Below you, more and more trow are kind of gathered up in this chamber. You can see they start thinning out a little bit, though, the deeper you go in. It looks like most of the work is being done in that first little chamber area. As you come around the corner, the first thing that you see is a large giant, probably 3 times the size of those ones that you've seen before, those toddlers. You get the sense this one might be the teenage one. His entire clothing, he has looks to be semi-fancy for a giant, vest and a pair of breeches on, but it's made up, and it looks almost like chainmail until you get a little bit closer to this thing as you guys are peering over the cart. I kind of picture you all, kind of like that little guy hanging onto the side, just your eyes peeking over the edge of the cart. As you look, his head is pretty much level with you guys, so he stands about 35 feet tall. All this chainmail, as it gets closer, though, you realize that it isn't chainmail. It's bodies, dried gray husks of bodies. And then you see the beards and the hair of these things all intertwined and tied together, as he's basically made almost like a suit of mesh or burlap out of all the dead bodies, the dried husks of these trow. He wears it like a vest and a pair of pants. And it comes down around the corner a little bit further, and you get a view of this entire room. I'm going to clear away this red thing. And I'll read you the intro for this room, and then you guys can decide what you want to do, because we're probably going to start initiative. All right. So you can hear the heavy plodding thumps and the shaking of the chains that hold this cart, the ground itself. Below you, the floor starts to kind of rise up a little bit and then levels back out. And you can see it looks much more solid, like normal, typical, like cavern stone floor and dirt. Most of the flame and lava in the back room behind you. You can hear this huge giant male as he kind of turns his head. And you see a face on the side, but as he turns his head all the way around, you see another head kind of growing out of his shoulder. And the two of them, these two heads, stare back at each other, and they talk back and forth in a strange giant language. It looks like they're arguing over something. And you can see in their hands they have what looks to be a large humanoid, like the size of an ogre, in their hand that's been mostly consumed. You can see steam kind of rising off of it still. Off to the side, this guy's nearly triple the size of the ones you've seen. But off to the side, you see something even more beautiful. Clearly female, but giant, bloated, crawling with filth. Trowel clamber over this thing with like vermin. And she lies upon a throne of vomit, feces. You see on the side these large stone bowls, and she scoops great handfuls of strange milky glop. You can see the dead bodies in this glop, and just shoves them into her mouth, one after another. With an ear-piercing screech, your eyes are helplessly drawn to her sagging, open, rotten genitals, where an infant giant is pulling itself free from this vaginal prison. The queen eyes open in excitement, and her whole body trembles for a moment. You see these fat, pudgy hands reaching, trying to get a hold of this little infant as it crawls forth, almost like a sugar-induced child trying to get more candy. She snatches this thing up in between her fingers. This infant's like the size of a large man, but it fits between her thumb and her forefinger. She grabs a hold of it and puts it into her mouth. Just as she's ready to place it in her mouth, you see her head kind of swivel to the side, looking at these carts, looking at your cart. And then she turns away and drops this infant giant into her mouth. You can hear the crunch. The carts stop where they're at, so you can get a view of this room. You get the sense that somewhere behind you, one of the other carts has probably dropped down to the ground and is waiting to be filled, per se, as you guys hang there. What do you do?
Vomit. I can't.
Actually, I do need strength challenge rolls, 3 Banes from everybody.
Lovely.
Sorry, guys.
Good call. I almost forgot. Darn.
Thanks. Thanks.
Do I have a robot? Do I still do it?
No, you won't need to in this case. No.
Oh.
No, not Nox.
Actually, give me a will challenge roll, Dio, in your case.
How many Banes are boot?
3. Yep.
Would I get like a boon from being an urchin and being used to nasty stuff? Probably not, but
I don't think it'll even help you. You rolled a 4, so
yeah.
good try though.
How many?
So-
How many Banes?
Yeah, attempting it.
3 Banes, Morta.
So I managed to stay positive, but
So that's I got 12
All right.
total.
So Morta, you are good. This seems just like another day for you, apparently. Alan, you're disturbed, obviously, but you're not overwhelmingly sickened yet or frightened. But Nox, you are completely, and for even a goblin, this is just horrific. You're going to be sickened as long as this is in view. So basically, a couple minutes as you watch this, just constantly heaving over the side of this and unable to control yourself. All while you're sickened, you're going to have 1 Bane on whatever you do. And let's see, Dio, while not sickened, you almost have this strange deja vu moment, this sort of flashback, like you've seen this before, you've been here, or you've witnessed this somehow. And while you're not sickened, you're definitely disturbed. Even that clockwork, knowing that you're made up of the soul of some past person, this is the kind of thing that you feel, within your soul. You're very uncomfortable and disturbed by this.
I see. So I have a powerful deja vu, unsettling. Even in a yeah. So my shutter lens kind of closes slowly and opens a couple times. I try to gather my thoughts, reboot.
When you look over at him, Alan, you can see that's definitely he's out of sorts or something's wrong with him. And Nox, you can hear hurling over the side of the cart. Or maybe in the cart if you would like, wherever he's hurling, but he's hurling.
I don't think he can reach up over the cart. Because, so, yeah, if he's hurling, I'm going to angle him to, hurl in the back of the cart so it's not towards us.
I am intentionally gonna throw up on Alan if I can.
Punch you in the face, good sir.
I will use all my actions to try to vomit, get rid of my being sickened on Alan.
I will punch you in the face.
I will dodge away.
Actually, you know what? If you really want to do that, all I had to do is just pick you up and toss you over the cart.
I will stealthily vomit on you.
Projectile vomit.
Through my blowgun.
That's just nasty now. That's just too much.
Is there a way? So I see that Dio is basically malfunctioning. I
think I'll be okay.
Mostly, he just goes over and starts winding up your wrench in your back because that's his default turning off computer, turning it back on kind of thing. Whenever there's a problem with you, he just winds up your little crank thing.
Reboot.
And that's what he's going to try. And then, if nothing happens, he's just oh, I give up. So, but how high are we up in the air at the moment?
You are 30 feet, and who has the lowest agility?
Probably me.
I have 12.
Oh no, agility. I have 13.
Oh, so deal. All right. Well,
Mine is also 13.
okay, so let's see if between Dio's rebooting and clanking and his hurling, if this giant notices you.
Oh, that's one way we can get down. We can jump on the giant, crawl down, go over, and then kill the queen. Go
Alright.
back to the giant, crawl up the giant, and then get back in the carts and go home.
So you see this teenager one arguing with itself. The two of them are kind of silent when you hear Dio. He clanks back and then with a crash kind of falls back as he starts to reboot. The whole cart shakes a little bit and it's just metal on metal clang as his body kind of starts to shake and reboot itself. These two heads look over, but apparently do not notice yet. They see this cart kind of swinging back and forth and they can hear it. You see they step forward a little bit, looking at the cart, but you don't get the sense that they've seen you as you all kind of duck down. This thing shakes a little bit, and then you can feel you start moving again, deeper and deeper. You'd be following the black line of the track, which eventually goes up past the big, huge, fat one around the corner and starts to circle back eventually.
So what's the plan, guys? Should we try to jump out when we get to the fat one and just try to kill her as fast as possible? Or what should we try to do?
Good call. Yeah, she's the queen, right?
Get that sense, yep.
Where she is, can she fit through
No.
this at all?
Nope.
No.
She can't even move. She's just
Okay.
It almost looks like she's been fused to the floor and everything is just she's just there.
Well, and here's another thing. If we are on her, I'm assuming this now. The teenager giant can't come up and try to beat us because we are on her, and if he swings and tries to hit us, he may hit her instead.
She's crawling with trow and vermin though. Almost like, just covered in lice of these things, just crawling all over her body.
Yeah, but chance gonna have to take. Ooh, what if we light her on fire? You saw what they did before.
Light her on. Oh, I got a flamethrower.
Good idea.
But it is
portal
pretty
itching
bright
to
in
use.
this room, though, right?
There's what?
It is pretty bright in this room.
Yeah, there's you get the sense that maybe fire wouldn't be the best, only because you can see lava boiling up around her. This whole room is hot, fissures in the walls, the bonfire's going on. It's almost like it's meant to be very, very hot down here.
I bet she smells wonderful.
Well,
Actually, yeah, as you mentioned that, if you happen to look at all the trow and stuff that are down here, you notice none of them have eyes. They've all been carved out.
Oh, that's wonderful. So
yeah,
what are
wow.
they doing? If they don't have eyes, are they just like feeling around?
It looks like they're just mindlessly following the same path. If you watch one, it follows the same path around and around, doing the same thing. Almost like a robot.
Right. Okay.
Kind of hits the corner of this track, shifts a little bit, and starts to go a little bit further deeper into this room.
Knox, how good are you with that blowgun?
I'm the best, and he burps, being second.
Do you think maybe if you poisoned and start shooting her with blowguns, maybe, possibly, that you can hurt her that way?
Yes, I mean, there's a little chance that she can be one-shotted, but by that, but very little.
This giant teenager, you can see it stumbles a little bit, and then this huge meaty hand kind of comes up and smashes against the face of its head that's growing out its shoulder. You see the left hand come over, and it just basically looks like this thing is fighting itself, each arm punching the other head. They stumble back a little bit, and you see that they start stumbling, coming right towards this cart. And this one turns around. It's almost like he's getting ready to grab something, but his hand swings around, hits the side of this cart. Why don't y'all give me agility challenge rolls with one bane as this hand smashes into the side of this cart, swings out, and smashes into the side of the wall.
Oh shit!
Well, okay, that's not bad.
I got 4. 4.
Gotcha.
Total of 9.
Gotcha.
Wait, what stat are we using?
Agility.
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 1 bane.
Don't forget, you have 2 banes. Technically.
Yeah, thank you for reminding me.
Hey, just saying.
Oh, fucking hell! What the fuck?
So, Alan, you hang on, throwing it back into this cart. You see Dio go over the side, Nox hanging on just by his fingertips, which slip away, and Morta clamber out the side too. You guys fall. Oh, this is gonna hurt.
Oh wow, all 3 of you fell out. That's awesome.
18 damage fall from 35 feet. All of you just kind of spin end over end and smash into the ground. You see this giant look over, down at the 3 of you. One head looking at this cart, and you see this hand coming up to grab a hold of this cart, Alan, that you're kind of hiding down in. This other one looks over and starts to reach down towards the 3 of you who are lying on the ground. I think it's time to know if you want to go fast or slow, people.
Slow.
All right, so fast and slow. Who'd like to go fast?
Fast.
I'll go fast.
Oh, let's see what's names. Dio's fast.
Dio's fast.
Morta's fast. Nox and Alan.
Slow.
Gotcha. Slow.
Slow.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna pull a Nox. Or try to anyways.
And Alan and Nox. Okay. So you see this huge hand come down to grab a hold of Dio, Morta, Nox towards you 3. Dio and Morta, you guys are up first, though.
Oh my. I was going to cast the shield. I have a quick look here.
Sparking shield?
Yeah, that's what it's called. Magical shield around the range for duration for a minute.
Okay.
Anything that attacks me gets a shock from it. Basically gets knocked away from me and is prone.
Shield for 1 minute, so 10 rounds. Okay. So yeah, he's going to be reaching in towards you, so you're casting that. Morta? You see this glowing shield erupt around Dio.
Okay. Well, I'm going to clutch onto my Warhammer and start rushing towards, try to climb up arm as he reaches for Dio and smash his head.
All right. Do you want to actually climb up his arm? Because that would be your move action.
Yeah.
You'd be
yeah,
able to climb up without a problem. Okay. You don't need to give me a roll for that. So yeah, you're able to, as he reaches down, grab a hold of his hand and start clambering up his arm. You can see he just kind of tries to shake you a little bit, but his hand is reaching in towards Dio. So what do I need to roll for your sparking shield? Is it a...
Pardon me, I just had to throw the cat out. Creature attacks with a melee weapon gets if it successfully hits me, it makes an agility challenge roll.
Okay. Well, he's looking to squish you, so let's see what he gets there first.
I'm hoping it can knock him back, or stop it, create a field.
Ouch. So yeah, he's definitely coming in to hit you. It's actually going to go on both both Dio and Nox. They do an area of effect. So he just kind of comes down almost with his thumb, like he just wants to smush you like tiny little piss ants into the ground. See his thumb come down, pressing both of you into the dirt. He's throwing back though as soon as he hits the sparking shield, and he makes an agility challenge roll.
Yeah.
Which is unsuccessful. And he takes how much damage?
1d6 unless he gets an additional. No, 1d6 plus 1.
6, 7. Okay.
1d6 plus. Was that it? But it knocks him back. I was hoping it would prevent damage and such, but
they still hit you. So you're gonna take 6 points of damage, both of you, as his thumb just comes in and smushes to both of you. But he's immediately have the sharp pain as your shield goes off, and you see almost like a pinprick to his thumb. He yanks his hand back. says something almost quizzically as he looks a little bit closer. You see this large, giant head kind of peer in at you, Dio. Tiny, small. More to you running up the arm. And that's his fast action. So, Alan, Nox, you guys are up first before he takes a slow action.
Nox, you want to go first?
Okay. So my first action would be to use nimble recovery and run away.
All right.
And my second action is the queen in sight?
Yeah. She's pretty much, no matter where you are, you can see her, some of her at least.
And she doesn't care or know about us or me.
She's looking, but I mean, she's more interested in shoving her face full at the moment.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna shoot at her because
All right.
I hope she's gonna be surprised by that.
All right.
I'm gonna use that +1 boon thing, so that's 0 boons and banes.
Okay.
Unless you give me some more, you know.
Nope.
No? Oh fuck. And
She's
yeah.
a large target. Just saying.
Nope. She would be almost like 600 yards away, though, so I'm kind of compensating for that.
I'm just messing. Like, I'm not being serious.
Okay. Does that hit?
And it does not.
Fucking hell, okay. That's one of my darts gone.
So you see it lob through the air. Is this one of your poisoned ones?
Yeah.
Goes through there. It does hit the side of her. You can see it just kind of bounces into this thick, heavy hide. It's almost just caked in mud, feces, filth, crawling with vermin. And you see this little screech kind of echoes, and you see one of these trowel kind of flip over the edge and fall down, hit the ground, and splatter. And with that, this huge hand comes in. It wraps around this cart that you're in, Alan. And with a yank, you can feel like it ripped from the hinges. The chains snap. And you feel this weightless in your stomach as you're lifted up, and then just dropped.
Oh, I don't get a turn?
Oh, yeah, you get to go. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I was
and also,
for some reason thinking you were going.
Did the giant get knocked down from...
Not down, no. Just his arm got knocked back.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm actually going to kind of wait until he grabs the cart and then starts to pull it, and then I'm going to jump up and run on his arm.
All
and
right.
just run across his arm to his face and smack him in the face.
All right, go for it. I don't need
All
a climb
right,
check or anything.
Sweet. Attack roll. That'll be strength. I'm getting... I'm trying to remember. Man, it's been a while since playing this. Got to remember all the bonus stuff that you get. I think just 1 boon at the moment. Yeah, just 1. So 18?
Yes, that right on the dot.
Awesome. All right, so he's going to take 3d6, but also he is going to be pushed. I can move a target 1d6 yards away from you when I hit him with the shield. So
Okay.
I don't know how, like, the way I would love for this to play out is I'm trying to knock the giant towards the big queen. If, like, however that's going to be played out.
Let me get rid of the stupid box.
And he's going to take 13 points of damage.
Okay. Yeah, you smash this like into his face. You see he stumbles back. You're not really gonna be able, since he's so big, to really push him. But the blow from the smash into the face, he stumbles back a few good, towards the queen, like you kind of edging him in that sort of direction. Yeah, he definitely stumbles back. And his other hand comes up to kind of grab a hold of you. So.
And I will actually do a shield block, which you will make the roll, the attack roll with 1 bane.
Okay.
As I'm trying to bat your attack away with the other shield.
So, okay. And nope, I think you're 23. Yeah. So yeah.
Well, actually, no, that would be a hit because I attacked with the shield this turn. So my AC for this turn would be 21.
Got it.
So
16 points of damage.
so I'm gonna use my. Well, actually, hang on. I don't think I can use my triggered action. Nope, I can't. So I will take 16 points.
All right. So all of you are in that room. That's room 3. Okay. Yeah, he stumbles back a little bit, and you see this queen in the distance. Her whole stomach rumbles a little bit, and you see another infant start crawling forth out of her. She doesn't do anything yet. And with that, who would like to go fast and who would like to go slow?
I think I'm gonna have to go slow. Again.
Fast.
Yeah, I'll go fast again.
So just Alan is slow. All right. I'm gonna have him go fast before you guys can go, as he kind of swings his hand up, trying to grab a hold of you, Morta, as you're running up his arm, getting ready to smack him. You see he reaches up, almost like he's just trying to get you and just rub you off of him, kind of like a bug.
Wait, you said Morta?
Yes. She was running up his other arm. And yeah.
Oh wow.
So Morta's gonna gnash her teeth a bit, and
You see him
gonna
reach up and just rub, trying to get you off of this huge hand, kind of crushing you a little bit as it pushes you off. But I need an agility challenge roll not to fall off, take more damage. It'll be just a straight up agility.
that is a 12.
Right. Yeah, you're good for the moment. You kind of hang from a few pieces of hair hanging out of his armpit. And all 3 of you are up, except for Alan, who's going slow. Who would like to go first?
Can I just start shooting at her? Like, I'll just keep doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, go for it.
What I should be best at, but what I'm really bad at right now. Let's try.
You're rolling horrible today.
Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable. Like, and this sickening thing that's really bugging me because I have that one boon that could really, help me out with the damage and stuff. But no. Oh, fuck. So instead of blowing through the gun, I inhale, and I die of poison.
Nice.
I mean, I have nothing else to do. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, she still seems. You see another trowel just kind of flip off of her and fall to the ground as you kill another one. You one hit the little bastard, but not quite what you were going for. But she's still oblivious to you, at least.
At least you're getting us XP for those kills. That's all I'm saying. Like,
it's like farming boars in the first location of whatever RPG you're playing.
Dio and Morta, you guys are up. You see Nox scrabbling across the ground, hurl off another blow dart in the direction of this behemoth bloated thing.
I'm going to try fire 3 grenades into whatever largest orifice I see. Then they'll go off inside, including her unmentionable area, if it seems to be gaping.
Oh, it's always gaping.
What's bigger, her mouth or her hoo-ho?
They're pretty comparable at the moment.
Okay, I launched 3. My arm piece swivels around quickly. My laser sight zaps into this gaping maw, and I lob 3 grenades into there. I attempt to, and I'm hoping I get more damage from if I can keep the explosion internalized. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Rather than if you close your fist over a firecracker, you'll blow your fingers off. So I'm hoping that'll blow her uterus apart.
How pleasant of you.
Well,
Well,
that is the
okay.
mission on stopping her from mainly producing more. So
I'm just having a quick look. Just basically, choose among targets. I doesn't mention how I roll to see if I hit it, but
What is the spell?
grenades. It's a level 2 tech attack spell.
Technomancer.
Anything within 1 yard radius of each grenade takes 1d6 plus 1 damage, and there's 3 grenades. It just doesn't mention how to see if I hit it. You throw 3 grenades, dividing them as you choose among the targets. When a grenade reaches its target, or if it encounters a solid creature or object.
An agility challenge roll. It's going to be an auto fail for her because she can't even move.
Oh,
It takes that damage, so it doesn't even matter. So you're just going to deal straight up damage.
Very nice.
okay. Now, did it work? Like, she's large enough that I could actually do a bit extra damage, or no? I'm just wondering if that's.
Let's see, what does it normally do? 1d6 plus 1.
I mean, she's big enough I can actually shoot him inside of her.
Yeah, I'll double it.
Oh, sweet. Okay, so that's 3d6 plus 3. So that'd be. Do I just double the damage, roll the damage, and double it?
Roll it and double it. Yep.
Okay.
Is it
Cool.
1d6 per grenade normally, or is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then. I'm just give me a second.
Yep.
Shall. Did it work? Yeah, it worked. Okay, 11, so 22 damage. I don't know, she's pretty big. I probably distracted her, though.
Yeah, you see these explosions go off. It's almost, just tiny little firecrackers in an open cavern over there, though. It doesn't even seem like this phases her. She doesn't even flinch or even acknowledge these grenades going off in her birthing cavity. But you hear the screeching of something echoing out from within. See a bit of a giant fetus flop out. Morta.
Am I hanging on to some armpit hairs?
Yep.
Okay, so I was climbing up the front of the arm. I got smacked off, and I grabbed onto the armpit hair. So I'm assuming that I'm swinging back up underneath the arm. So I'm going to try to get enough momentum, if I can, to come back up and try to maybe get one smack with a warhammer on somewhere close to the jaw, or maybe the sternum.
Okay. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So let me see. I'm going to use I'm going to use trickery, backstab, and so that's 3 boons. And that is 8 to 12, 15, 21 total.
Yep, that'll hit.
Okay, so I get 1, 2, 3, 4 d6. Warhammer.
I think it's going to be another 1d6 because you have the execute ability from your executioner, which adds another 1d6 to it.
Yes, I think that's 4 d6 total.
Oh, okay. You get the Warhammer's 2d6, then you got your backstab and your execution. Okay, yeah.
Trickery,
yep.
Dirty tricks, backstab, and execute. So it's going to be 6 plus the boons is 12, 16, 17 damage.
Good. Sweet. All right. And with that, Alan, you would be up. You can see this other hand that it has is reaching to get a hold of you, but you are up first.
I'm going to use my move action to drink the awesome potion that we have.
All right.
Not the mysterious one. I'm not doing that yet. So that's double my heal rate. So I am back down to that number. And then I'm going to smack this giant once again in the face. But this time I'm doing the guarded attack.
Okay.
So giving myself a Bane to give him Bane when he tries to attack me.
Okay.
So number of boons, just 2. Bane 0. I'm waiting for it to pop up. Or did it?
Nope, 16.
Oh, there it is. 16. Does
So-
that hit?
Nope, it does not.
Alrighty.
So you smash in your shield, maybe on the side of its face or something. We mostly catch what's left of these dried trow. It has a little bit of the vest coming up the side of its face. It shakes its head a little bit, and then you feel that hand come down around you as it tries to get a hold of you, and does not. So it just kind of smashes into its shoulder as you dodge out of the way. And nice. With that, you can hear this slurping, belching sort of sound. As all of you look over towards this massive behemoth thing in the corner, you see another, what's left of mostly a blown apart giant fetus pull forth. She reaches down on this, pulls her hand back, and you can see her tiny little black beady eyes scan this room that you're in, and she hurls this thing. This is going to be it. Dio.
It's at this point, I'm actually glad I'm on top of a giant.
Yeah. Oh.
So you see her grab a hold of this fetus, pull it back, and hurl it across the room. When it hits you, Dio, it just splatters everywhere. It's the size of a large boulder. It throws you back onto the ground against some looks to be some old forge equipment that are in this room, smashing you back into it. You can feel your wires kind of go haywire a little bit. It's 18 points of damage.
I got that active shield going still.
That
Did I
was
deflect any of that?
nope, because it wasn't a melee weapon.
Gotcha.
It was a flying aborted giant fetus.
Oh, I'm in the hole now. A couple points. That blasted me apart.
So you guys see Dio as he collapses to the ground. Everybody give me perception checks.
Do you not have anything to use a triggered action to heal yourself?
No, I don't know if I can do that.
Yeah, triggered action is basically like a reaction. You can use it
Yeah.
any point.
Okay, like a spell or ability.
Yeah,
You have.
I know there's
Soldier
a few
Slay
spells,
damage.
but I don't know what your
He's a mage, so you have
Techromancer, yeah.
yeah,
what's
spell recovery.
Your novice.
Magician. So he has spell recovery. You can use an act. Oh, he has to be an action to heal damage.
Right.
You can-
Oh,
healing rate.
okay. Yeah, because it recovers spells.
Yep.
I see.
I got
So
you.
you guys
I
see.
passed that
Oh.
perception check with
Sweet. What did you get for it?
a 15.
Okay, so Nox got the highest. So Nox, from where you're at, and you look, you can see the soft little bit of a glimmer, this blue color. Just a point of something catches your eye, sticking out of this massive mound of fetus or feces and vomit and filth. It's next to this bloated thing. You guys see Dio as it goes down. This huge giant stands up, and he's just swatting at himself like crazy, trying to get Morta out of his armpit hair, trying to get Alan off the side of him. His feet stomping around you, Nox. I need an agility challenge roll from you, Nox, not to get stepped on, and agility challenge rolls from Morta and Alan not to fall off this thing.
Wait, stepped on by accident or by?
Mostly by
Okay.
accident, yes.
Okay. So I would, I wanted to argue for a boon for being stealthy, but
I got a 14.
You're good. Alan, you're good. Nox As you screen out of the way, in between what looks to be old forge equipment and kettles, pots, huge things all around you, you just feel that crushing blow as this large toe, and more of its pinky toe, comes down on you. Oops, hold on. 10 damage.
I'm down.
So you hear this small crunch. Blood starts spilling across underneath this giant's pinky toe where Nox just was. You can see what's left of his dragon costume, the tail sticking out underneath this giant's foot. And that puts the end of the round. Morta and Alan, you guys are left. Would you like to go fast or slow?
Would I have noticed that blue object in the feces as well?
Would you
With
get
the
for?
17?
Yeah, I just gave it to him because he was the highest, but you'd be the next in line. So, well, both of you would be really. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go slow again, but I'm gonna mention to Morta, maybe it's time for that potion, and you can go after whatever that blue object is. I think that might help us or hurt us. I don't know.
Okay, so Morta's gonna pull out the potion. How far down is it?
You're up on his shoulders, so you're looking at a good 30 feet.
Okay, but with the potion, it shouldn't matter, right?
Which potion?
Cloud potion?
Oh, nope, in that case, no. It wouldn't matter at all.
Okay. So he's gonna pull it out and take a little swig.
Yes. Almost instantly, you feel your body get light. All of your equipment drops off of you. You see your clothing, your shield, your warhammer, all kind of flitters down, smashing onto the ground below you. This cloud of smoke appears where Morta just was. Your movement and everything stays exactly the same, but you can fly or drift or whatever you want to do in cloud form.
Okay.
Do you want to start drifting any certain way or doing any certain thing?
I'm gonna start drifting down towards the blue object,
Okay.
where Alan told me to try to get down and check out.
All right. So you see this cloud start drift past you, Alan, towards this bloated thing. Is Alan going fast or slow?
I was going slow.
All right. In that case, you can see this giant kind of reaches over, trying to get a hold of you since you're the only one there, Alan. Its feet stomping back and forth. What's left of poor Nox smushed into the dirt. He's still there. Looks pretty worse for wear. Blood pools around him a little bit. But he's going to take... he gets one fast one, so this is his fast action on you. Let's see. 5. And 7 points of damage.
All right, so I will use my triggered action to heal myself.
Okay. And you are up then.
I just got to throw this out there, by the way. Like, I've taken a bunch of damage, you guys know. I'm sitting at 1 damage right now. So
I'm down.
I still have 48 more to go. But all right, so for me, I'm actually going to pull out that mystery tonic and drink it and see what happens.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Give me a 1d6.
All right. 1d6. So what happens? Do I blow up?
What you got? 4?
I hope I go nuclear. Like, I want to go nuclear and kill everyone in the whole thing.
4. You see these waves of blue energy wafted off of you, kind of echoes across the room, and another wave of blue energy rolls across the room, a third and a fourth. You get to everybody that's in a 30-yard radius, which would be everybody at the moment. It's going to heal whatever your healing rate is.
Okay, that's awesome. Then that's 16 that everyone gets.
God damn.
And
That's more than
then
half mine.
you have
Yeah.
1 boon on your next attack.
I have
Yep.
1 boon.
Well, until the beginning of your next turn, you have 1 boon on whatever you do.
Okay. So in that case, then I'm just going to attack this guy again.
Alrighty.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do the same thing with the guarded attack because I need that, I think.
As you're drifting across this in this cloud form, more to you still have some sense and see around you, but you notice all these trow on the ground that are missing their eyes or acting a little weird. They all seem to be gathering up in little groups all around the floor. Dio, Knox, you would notice it as well since you guys are on the floor. But all these trow, maybe 10, 15 to a group, just all over the place. They looking really agitated, somewhat annoyed. And then you see the closest group, it's closer to you, Knox, all just charge forward in your direction. But go ahead, Alan, with your attack.
I miss as I try to whack this guy in the face, and I guess he sees what I'm trying to do, and he just turns his head at the last moment as I try to smack him.
It's just
missing.
a whiff. It's just inside. Lets out a little bit of a laugh. This time, as he turns, you see his hand coming up. He doesn't look like he's trying to smack you or do anything. Looks like he's actually going to try to grab a hold of you. So this is going to be against your agility.
Okay. So, all right, hang on. Let me see.
That's definitely it.
Yep. I can't do anything to stop that.
So you feel his hand come down. It almost gently holds you, kind of lifting you up from the back of your vestments. You see its hearty laugh, and then it's just blackness envelops you as he shoves you into his mouth. You can feel these bones come crashing down as they start to chew on your body. This would actually be the attack.
Okay. Well, in that case, he has a bane. And I already used my triggered action for this turn, so.
You're caught there. You can feel the teeth starting to gnash against you. You're able to hold it off with your armor at the moment as he's chewing down on you, but you're caught inside of his mouth at the moment. And that leaves Dio and Nox. You guys are still available if you want to take a slow action. Nox, you can see this group of trow charging in your direction. They don't look like they're not like screaming or offensive or anything, but they're all like running right towards you.
I'm -2 hits right now.
Oh, Alan healed you 16 damage.
Oh, I'm mechanical. Okay, thank you. All right. I was going to put down a turret as my last action, but I guess I'm out of power points, right?
You should still have your spells.
I have 2 power. Oh, yeah, okay, so I could put down a turret?
Yeah. The power points are just extra
Okay.
things you can use against those. You'll still have all your normal spells like normal.
Oh,
So
gotcha.
you should have, I think, 2 or 3 turrets.
2 power, you have 3 0-level abilities, 2 first-level spells, I should say, not abilities, and 1 second level.
1 second, okay. So that's a first level. That's a bolt thrower. I'll put that one down. And that's my little mechanical turret. And it attacks 1 target every round automatically. And then I guess that's my total action, right?
Yep.
Okay.
All right. And then Nox, you see this bolt thrower come into formation around Dio. Get ready to charge up. What do you do?
Can I hide somewhere?
Yeah, there's
The rubble or
tons
the...
of stuff around you.
So I would like to hide from those guys charging at me.
Okay.
And I would try to, as a sniper, try to shoot at the queen. I'm just I'm just gonna keep doing that. One day, one day, like statistically, I should have. She should have died already. Like, I mean, come on.
Go for it. Yeah, these things aren't really paying a whole lot of attention to you, so you're able to slide back in pretty stealthily.
Okay. So, go on. So agility, no lanes. 14?
I don't think the thing's working right. You rolled the 9 on the d20. Oh.
And I have plus 5.
Okay, yeah. Nope, 14 does not hit her.
Bloody hell.
You didn't. You should have had a boon on there for your
Yeah, but
though.
I am I not
counter? Okay, yeah. I was trying to help you.
Well, I mean, maybe the sickening could, get away from being healed or something. I don't know. Maybe the giant squished it out from me.
Yes, squished all the vomit right out.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see who's going fat. Oh, let me see what happens at the end of the round. Oh.
Does the turret auto fire this turn? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Go ahead and do that, and I'm going to see what happens as far as. Are you shooting at the giant or the queen?
The turret would shoot at. What's the immediate threat? Would be the giant, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, I shoot at it. Oh, I got a good shot with the turret.
Yep. That's it.
It does. If my attack rolls over 20, I do an extra 1d6 damage. It does 2d6, so it does 3d6 damage, I assume.
All right. Yep.
Cool.
Nice.
11 damage.
Good. So you see this blast go into his chest. It staggers back a few more steps. And with that, Dio and Nox, you guys are on the ground. You hear this steam sort of sound, this bubbling sound, and then what sounds like water splashing. So both of you look up towards this queen. It's all coming from her. You see steam rising up, and this rush of urine just burst forth from her, washing across the ground. I need agility challenge rolls from the two of you since you're on the ground.
Oh, no.
I have to say, that is gross.
Oh, man. Any boons or bonuses or anything?
Just a straight up one, unless you have something.
I got my shield up.
Yeah,
I'm a dancer.
I will give you a boon for that. What kind of dance do you do to avoid the rushing torrent of urine coming in your direction?
I would kind of dance on the piles of rubble, like kind of tippy, like.
Yeah, give yourself a boon for that.
Okay, so it's not okay. So it's just a plain roll then, because I'm still. Yeah, I mean, at least without the bait, that's. Yes.
And Dio, what did you get? Was yours the 11? Did you roll the 11?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Cool. Yeah, you guys feel this rushing, roaring torrent of urine wash path. Steam rises up from all the cracks where it melds in with this lava and this burning stone. Burns your eyes. Both of you are going to get 1 bane to your next attack just from all the steam and fog and everything around you, but you're not harmed by any way, at least. And that is the end of the round. Who would like to go fast? I got Alan.
Yep.
Nox.
Yeah, I'll go fast.
Dio. And Morta.
Yeah, I'll go fast.
All right. He's going to use his fast action before you and actually use his special ability. So you feel his teeth continue to try and chomp down on you, Alan.
Do it at a bane.
Got it.
Using the triggered action to try to stop it.
23.
Oh, and he still hit.
Right. And with that, the other one is going to be on Dio, since he can see where you are, as he brings this huge ham fist down, just trying to smash you into the gravel.
Roger. My shield is still active. If he hits me, he gets.
Yep. So it's
Oh wow.
to you first, Dio. So he's gonna do 3, 6. Whoops. Put the damage to you, and he will take 2 and be thrown back. And for you, Alan, 30 points of damage, and you feel this esophagus, everything just starts tightening around you. And then as you slide down his gullet, everything begins to constrict a little bit. You feel the acid of the walls of this throat pour down on you. Your hand gets caught between a few gnashing teeth, and then just emptiness as you start to fall into his stomach, or the intestines, whatever I call them. So you were inside of him. You're going to be attacking with 1 Bane on whatever you do, but you're going to deal double damage when you hit him.
Okay. Good to know.
And everybody is up.
Oh boy.
So yeah, since no one's talking, I'll go first. So I do have an ability to where I can attack, or not an ability, but yeah, I can attack 2 people,
Okay.
basically. So technically, well, it's 2 different targets. Let's put it that way. So if I target, like, say, the roof of his mouth and his tongue, would that be okay, or do I only would still get?
Yeah,
1?
I'd give that to you. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
I'm going to attack the roof of his mouth first. And this is just going to be a normal roll because I got a Bane. So a 6. That's not going to hit, sadly. So then I'm going to try to smack him in the tongue and hopefully decapitate it. Actually, I have to look at something. It's 1... Okay, so yeah, I still get the boon. Awesome. 22.
That one hits.
And this is above 5 of his
18,
defense, right?
No, it's not, because his defense is 18. So it's 4 above.
Damn. Because I think it's 20 or higher and exceeds, yep, by at least 5. Okay, so I don't get the extra damage. So how do you want me to do this? Like double the dice or just double whatever I roll?
Just double whatever you roll.
Okay. So that's just going to be 2d6. He'll take 18 points of damage, and also he is knocked 1d6 yards away from me. So I don't know how like you want to play that. Like, can I try to slide instead of knocking him away? I push myself like out of his mouth, maybe, or 1d6 yards.
Try to push yourself up. Give me a strength challenge roll to see if you can force it open. It'll be against his strength, which is 17.
Any boons or banes?
Not unless you give anything that gives you something.
For that? No, I was going to try to make up some bullshit about the farmer, but I no. So 19.
Yep, that beats it. So yeah.
Awesome. So
yeah, he can pop out, maybe just be able to grab a hold of maybe some of his chin hairs or something dangling there off of his chin. You guys see Alan as he spits out, chewed up a little bit, looking a little rough, but he's there. All right. Nox, Dio, Morta. Next, as you're kind of hidden down into this, all this area, you can see a few more of these trial things charge past you. Dio, you're next to your turret too. You see a couple of these trial groups running in your direction, mumbling something. Morta, you drifting across. You're just above this huge bloated creature. You can see that twinkling blue light down below her. What do you guys do?
I'm gonna shoot.
At the queen?
Yes. One day, I'm gonna roll damage. I haven't rolled a single damage die this game, and I have additional bane, right?
Yep, you're sickened for one more round, yeah.
Yeah, but you also said that I have like one additional bane from like the steam of the urine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Roll 20 doesn't.
No, I mean no. Hey, like
Well, that
it's
bane
not
is
those
gone,
banes.
too.
I mean, it's not those banes. It's just I don't know. I never met Will Wheaton. What the hell? Like,
You've rolled a lot of 4s and less.
yeah. I
Dio
only
Morton.
had like 2 or 3 rolls above 10 or something.
Dio and Morta, you guys are up.
I'm down to my rifle now. I swivel my arm around, lock and load the rifle, and take a shot at that giant. And my turret's going to fire at the end of the round. Okay.
Yep.
Roger. Let's see. I get. Is there any banes against me?
Nope.
I get 2 boons. 25. So that's over 20. So I do additional
Yep.
damage. Okay. So that's 4 dice 6 plus. Plus 1 per thing. 19 damage.
Nice.
Kerblam.
This huge blow off several fingers, a big hole on his left hand, bit of a stump that's left. This thing steps back and lets out this bit of a roar. Morta, you are up. And give me a 1d6 roll.
So 1.
That's what you, well, maybe wanted. But as you start to drift above, you can feel your stuff start to materialize a little bit. And then you're standing there in midair, naked, Morta, whatever form you might be, probably a trowel at the moment. And then you just drop amongst all these other trowel that are crawling across her stomach and her torso, crawling all underneath her breasts.
Okay, I'm going to try to crawl towards where I believe the blue shine is coming from, which is her backside.
Sort of, yeah,
Right.
kind of. Yeah, kind of over her shoulder. So you're just taking a move action, all right? So yeah, you crawl up kind of across this huge bloated form of this thing. You can feel that she's really, really warm to the touch. Smells horrendous. You can see mold and fungus and other things growing off of her skin. It's covered in this thick, bristly sort of hair. All these other trowel gather up over top of you. You see like infant trowel that are hovered underneath her breasts, which lactate down around it for them to feed off of as you continue to crawl up over her chest and over her shoulder. As you get up there, you see the bright twinkle, this bluish glow of what looks to be the hilt of some sort of sword. Just twinkling. It's going to take another move action to get there, and it's amongst all the garbage and glop, but you can see it there.
Okay, well, being from the profession of grave robbing, Morta's going to trudge on and go ahead and get it amongst all the shit and muck.
Nice. Drop over the shoulder. When you hit that, you sink down good knee deep in this stuff before you hit the bottom, which is a little more solid, and start scooping your way across. This giant turns around. When he flings his hail around, he hits one of these carts, and you see this splash of molten lava go across the ground. Nobody's down there. Some of it spills into the corner, the feet area of this huge bloated thing, and she lets out the scream, reaching her hands back or her feet back away from the molten lava itself. End of round, I need your turret to go off, and then you guys can let me know what you want to go fast or slow.
Fast.
Yeah, well, no. I think I'm going to go slow.
I'm gonna go fast.
I'm going to go slow.
Or just slow. It's fast. And deal.
Fast, please.
All right. Go ahead and do your roll for your turret too for the end of that round.
Roger.
And you are no longer sickened, Nox, so you can get rid of that bane.
Yes.
Second turret. 19. Okay,
Yep.
so the turret hit. Does 2 die? Oh, wait a second. Let me have a quick look. 2 die, 6 damage. Okay, yeah. And I didn't go over 20, so it's just 2. Done. 8 damage. Turret. And then I can shoot it. I'm doing a fast action. I don't know if you want me to.
Yep, go ahead. You guys can go fast now, too, since I got that one.
Okay.
So Morgan, or Nox and Dio.
Roger. I'll fire my rifle again. 21, so that's over 20. I do extra damage. 4 die 6. 18 damage.
Yeah, okay.
Nice.
See, this time, go off a big chunk out of its chest. Another rifle thing goes into its thighs, drops down to one knee, screams out and roar. He gets ready to start flailing about. Nox, you are up.
You know what I'm gonna do? Hey, one day, maybe since I'll finally have one boon to use, maybe.
There we go.
Okay. So the damage. How does the poison?
I think it adds an extra 3d6 plus I need to make a challenge roll of some sort.
Yeah. You make a strength challenge roll, and it is with 3 bane.
3 banes. All right. Let's see.
But do you take the damage if you make it, or is it just for the condition?
I take damage anyway, but if I take the damage regardless. So if you want to go ahead and roll that out.
Okay. Right. So how much is that one?
And let's see. So an extra 3d6 and 3 banes. All right. Here's my roll for my challenge roll. And banes, I have 3. Oh shoot. 0. Banes 3. So she succeeds on that, but you still are going to do like a massive amount of damage.
Does she make also the strength save for the assassination, or is she not surprised?
No, that's what that is. The 14 that just rolled.
Oh, okay. And for the poison, that was
Yep.
the.
Okay. Wait a minute. Is there 2 different ones?
Oh, I mean, there should be a strength one for poison resistance and one for the assassination attack, right?
Okay, so that would be the assassin one. So this will be the poison one. I got you.
How funny would that be if you would fail the assassination? Like that
Right, and since I rolled over 20, do I get
another turn?
Okay, so after everyone, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
There, and the damage is 13.
Well, and don't forget you can use your triggered action to try to hide again.
That's a lot to keep track of on yours. All right, we're all set there, though. And when you hit her, you get almost the sense, Nox, that damage-wise, she didn't even really acknowledge. It's almost, like a paper cut to an elephant. She just really didn't even notice. You see her skin bubble a little bit where the poison went in, but otherwise, she don't seem too affected by it. And that's too fast, so Giant's fast turn. This one's on you, Alan.
So if he misses, does he punch himself?
He's just trying to grab a hold of you.
I'm going to do a bane.
Okay.
On that.
And the other one's slow. So whoever's going slow, let's see. Alan and Morta, you guys are up.
You can go Morta if you want to.
Okay. So I'm gonna
You
grab
clamber
the sword.
Clamber over the side, reach down, grab the hilt of the sword, and you feel like almost a sense of joy, of righteousness, of holiness, almost kind of opposite of what you normally are, but you feel very magnificent. You pull this free, a very ornate hilt that wraps around your wrist with a little guard and this long, thin blade. It's about 3.5 feet long, real thin rapier-like blade.
Okay. So now that I have this, I'm going to start climbing back up. Who else is on?
They're all back there battling the other one.
mud?
Yeah, they're all back on the
Okay.
other one. So it's just you up there.
Okay. Would it take how long would it take me to try to climb up? Would it take me more than this turn?
No, because you started down there, so you reached down and grabbed it, which is basically free. So you can take a move action to climb back up and still have an attack action since you went slow, or whatever other
Okay.
action you want to do.
So you're going to see this that now has this this rapier with the blue gemmed hilt to his left and to his right, and just starts trying to scurry back up the way he came. And he's going to try to pierce with this weapon. Morta has a sense now of just like righteousness, and wants to try to see what kind of damage.
While in your hand, this thing is going to do two things. One, it's going to do whatever your strength modifier is, double it when you make attack rolls. And
Okay.
second, you're going to add your strength modifier to damage each die. So if you did 3d6 and your modifier is 3, it'd be 3d6 plus 9. Its base damage, though, is 1d6. So you can go ahead and make an attack roll.
Okay. Ooh, let's see. That will be 12, 15. Oh, okay. 22.
That's a hit. It's not 5 over, though, so you don't get any of those 20 plus bonuses. But it's a
Okay.
hit.
So and by the way, I'm using my execute skill for my executioner master path. So that is 10, 15, 16 damage.
It's like a knife through hot butter. It just sinks right through her flesh and opens up this huge wound. She lets out a screech, and immediately her hand reaches up, try and grab a hold of you. This is going to be an attack on you. Ooh. This is going to be against your agility. And yes, definitely. She grabs a hold of you. You can feel your sword, sinking between her fingers, slicing her open more. She lets out this roar of pain, of frustration. All of you see this bright flash of blue in her hand as she lifts her hand up. Morta scrabbling around in her hand, and she's going to hurl Morta at Dio because she can see you. So you guys see Morta fling through the air, just spinning through the air, smash into Dio. And both of you will take, I'll just split it, 8 points of damage to both of you. You can see her body tremble a little bit, and she smashes one hand down onto the ground. Another one smashes down. You can see several of these infant deformed giants burrow forth from her crotch across the ground, followed just by oozing blood, urine, pus, and the whole body trembles. You can feel this cavern shake a little bit. Debris starts to rain down. Agility challenge rolls with 2 banes from everybody.
I'm at 0 hits, actually, like right on the money.
All right, so yeah, you're unconscious then.
When Morta flew into me there.
That's going to be 18 for me. That passes.
Okay.
Oh, wait. I'm sorry. Hold on. That's 10. Agility, that's 13.
All right, you're good.
Total.
So you're only going to take half damage. Alan knocks. You're going to take full. So 17 for the 2 of you, 8 for you, Morta. And that is the end of the round. For whoever's left, would you like to go fast or slow?
Is that an additional 8? I'm sorry.
Yep, make an additional 8.
Okay.
Hey, I'm down, so that I couldn't use my trigger action, right? Because
You can use a triggered action just as you get down. You can, yeah.
so can I? I mean, can I? Could I drink a potion before I get down to save myself from?
You can
being...
use your triggered ability there, the nimble recovery, unless you already did. Did you?
I already,
yeah.
I probably can't do anything.
What did you have a triggered action left? Oh, just your regular one. So none in that case, no.
Okay.
And Alan, Morta, you guys still up?
Yeah, I'm still up.
Right.
Sadly, I'm gonna have to take a fast. I didn't wanna, but
Gotcha. And Morta?
I'm going to use nimble recovery, so I guess
well, the nimble recovery is the trigger.
Like I said, I think that's triggered, so that's a freebie.
Yeah, you can use that anytime.
okay. So I'm going to go
Fast or slow, Morta?
Oh, I thought you heard me. I said slow.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
That's it. Alan, you are up then. Nox and Dio, are you both unconscious?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Yep.
So you see both of them on the ground, unconscious, next to you. Well, I think Alan, you're technically still hanging off chin hairs, so.
Yeah, sadly, the only thing I can really do at this point is use the defend action. Well, yeah, because I already decided to go fast.
You can change it if you need to.
Well, no, because my issue is the giant's still going to get his fast turn. And if you hit me, I'm gone. So it's just one of those things. Like,
You know the others have healing potions on them still too.
I'm gonna have to take that chance. How far can I make it to either one of them in a move turn?
You're gonna have to climb down. I need a strength challenge roll to climb down to move to them, but they're right at the base of them. So, as a fast action, you could move to them. As a slow, you can move to them and do something.
Well, yeah, that's what I was gonna change to is a slow action. Then, if I can reach them,
Yeah.
then yeah, I will go slow.
All right.
So.
Yeah, right. And we're too slow, so yeah, he'll take his fast action.
Yep.
I get a Bane, or is it all done?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and use the triggered. I gotta, because if not, then a 20 is not gonna hit though. Thank God.
All right, so that's his fast. So you are up as he's swatting, trying to get you out of his chin hairs, and you're crumbling down his chest across these dried husks of trowel. Just give me a strength challenge roll. I'll give you 1 boon to climb down.
Awesome. 27.
Easy peasy. And both Dio and Nox would be there beside you.
Are they right close together?
Yeah.
Is it possible to grab both of their potions and make them both drink it, or do I have to pick one?
Yeah, I'm sure you could do that. Yeah.
Okay. Also, did Dio roll his turret last turn?
Oh, no, he did not. Actually, I don't even know if that goes off without him. Yeah, it does.
Okay.
Yeah, Dio, if you... Oh, he's back, or he's away at the moment, so...
Yeah, so I'm going to make them both drink. Actually, I could be an ass and be like, I give Dio and then take Nox's potion, but no, I will make them drink.
All right, so both of you can heal your healing rate. And you still have your actions left then.
It's double the healing rate, isn't it? Because
yes,
it's
the
super
special
potion.
one. Yep. So Nox and Dio, you guys are up.
Awesome.
Okay.
This
I'm
huge
gonna
giant in front of you is looking really rough. The queen is fine, but...
How many hits was that? You said it was...
Your healing thing, you mean?
Yeah.
Double your healing rate. So whatever your healing
Nice.
is. Double it. All right. Go ahead, Nox. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Well, yeah, you know what I'm gonna do. I think I hit her once. I'm gonna do it again. Maybe,
Go for it.
possibly.
Oh, the cat.
Dio, you are up. Good try, Nox.
Oh, sorry, Dio's up. Yeah, is my turret still going?
Yep.
I was wondering about that. Okay, so I'll just let it keep firing. Now, we're still dealing with this one
Yep.
giant.
He's looking pretty rough, but he's still barely hanging on.
I'm going to try to finish him off. Turret keeps firing. Okay, my rifle's my best weapon. I'm going to fire again. Let's see here. Oh my God, cat. Sorry, guys. I threw it outside and distracting me a minute. Okay, strength. 2 boons. 26. Oh, that's a boomer.
He only has 4 hit points.
Oh, wow.
So describe what you do to him.
I centered in through her left nostril and tried to get into her brain cavity. But her brain's pretty puny, but I managed to hit it, and it took her about 5 seconds to burp up some blood, and hopefully she doesn't fall on one of us. Or he. Oh yeah, that's the male. That's the that's the son. So yeah, I shoot right through the nose.
Nice.
Bullet bounces around inside his skull.
It's a good thing I moved then, because I was hanging by those nose hairs.
Oh shit!
All right, and your bolt thrower.
Okay, now it's firing. It doesn't automatically hit. Okay, I gotta. Okay, sorry about that.
Only one left is the huge one. So
yeah, just fire away at it. Okay, good. Let's see, hit that. Strength check. There's no. Do I get 1 boon on that? Or nothing?
Nothing, because it's used this year.
I might have put a boon on it last time. Okay, 16. Is that enough?
Nope.
Oh darn.
All right, so let's see what she does. Nothing.
Shoot.
She picks her nose.
Nope. You see this steam rising up around all of you a little bit. The ground trembles a little bit more. And where you're standing, Alan, you can feel the floor bubble up, almost like liquid or like a bubble underneath there. And it rises up and goes back down a little bit, rises up a little bit more. And then it bursts apart. And you see this lava just burst, come up out of the ground and splash across. This is going to be against everybody's agility score. So who has a 13 or less?
Me.
Me as well.
I have a 13, yeah.
I have a 12. And you have to make agility check, you said?
Nope, I was against your agility. So if you have a 13 or less, you take 8 damage as this lava just spills forth, splattering across you.
Ouch.
Well, finally, Alan has gone down.
Oh, shit.
I tell you what, he has absorbed a shit ton of damage.
You guys see this huge splatter across the back of Alan as he goes down.
No.
Morta standing there. You have the sword in hand still. Dio knocks. It's the end of the round, so who would like to go fast? You see the queen struggling. She can't move, can't really do anything. She wallows in her own filth in the distance. More infantile giants spilling forth.
Can I light her on fire?
Try.
Flamethrower?
Yeah.
Go gadget flamethrower. Okay, my arm swivels around. There'd be no boons for that, would it? Okay, let me have a quick look. Sorry, let me have a quick look at the spell. You create a flamethrower weapon that has 6 uses. It appears in your hands or your feet. It kind of projects out of my shoulder mount. Last use. Sorry, I got it in a small box here. I can just spray a line of flame. That does 2d6 damage, everything in the area. You do half damage agility check.
So I'm just doing an agility check then. So you do auto damage and I do the agility check.
Okay, and then let's have a quick look here.
But she auto fails it, so.
And it also does 1d6 per round because if she's caught on fire, if it hits or whatever.
Which is auto. So go ahead and do damage.
Okay. It's 2d6 damage, it said. Right? Oh, that should be just 7 damage. Pardon me.
Good. And she'll take it each round too. Okay.
Yeah. And a turret with fire.
Morta and Nox. Go ahead and do the turret while they roll up. I'll just figure it in.
Roger. It only got an 8. That's probably a miss.
Yeah, it's a miss.
Roger.
Morta and Nox, whichever one of you would like to go.
I'll go. I'm gonna shoot.
Give me a perception check.
Okay.
Both of you would notice above you these huge cranes. Most of them have stopped, but every now and then, this one next to her, you can see molten lava spill out. She's always pulling her legs back, trying not to get hit by this huge bucket of molten lava next to her.
Could I get on the crane in one turn and do something with that, or?
You'd have to take a double move or your rush. Well, you take a rush action to get to it when you went slow. So yeah, you could. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm like, I guess I would need to be strong to push it over or something, which I'm not. So I would, I would probably use 3 turns trying to push it over, and I would keep failing. I don't know. I'm gonna rush to the crane anyways.
Okay.
And I'll see what we're doing next turn.
You can get over there without a problem. And Morta?
How far away is the queen now?
It would be a single move, or a double move, I'm sorry.
I'm going to head in that. It's the same direction that Nox is heading, right?
Yep.
So I'm going to head along and kind of just defend Nox along the way.
All right.
Then, yeah.
You see a few trout here and there come in that you can swipe away, and that blade just cleanly slices right through them. Not even any hesitation. As you guys start to get close in, you can see these liquids kind of spilling forth, and this another torrent of urine just passes forth. Agility challenge roll from the two of you that are running up to her.
Are we at the end of the round?
Yeah. I just had him.
Do I need to...
Oh, you need to do your thing. So yeah, you do it at the same time. Yep.
What do I roll? Just a d20?
1d6. 1, you're dead. 2 through 4, 5, nothing happens. 6, you get 1 hit point, 1 health back.
I got 22.
You're
So
good.
pass.
Nox is good. Okay.
Ooh, 1. Epicness.
1 is death.
Yep.
All right. So I'll swing over to you in just a second. 2 of you run up onto her, apparently skipping across some of this debris and other things. There's this torrent of urine just passes out from underneath her. What do the 2 of you do? Morta, Nox.
What did we do? Oh, like, are you asking us what are we doing with
yeah,
the
you
crane?
guys are. Yeah, you guys would be up.
Morta's hanging on. Morta's hanging on to the side, the cliff on her tippy toes, trying to let all the piss flow by. But she wants to let Nox do his thing with the crane first.
Okay.
And if that doesn't work, she's gonna come in again with the rapier.
All right.
So is there any lever or like a cogwheel that Nox could utilize to
Yeah, there's
turn the crane or
to like use his leverage. Yeah, there's
yeah.
lots of stuff around. Yep.
So he would do something like that, trying to.
All right. I'll give you 2 boons if you do that. It would be a strength challenge roll. And I'll swing over to you in just a second, Dio. So yeah, try it as you might. You get this bar underneath this, and you start tipping. A few pieces here and there splash out, and you can see this queen draws herself back. A few spatters around you, Morta, but he doesn't quite have the strength to get this thing up and over. Morta, you are up.
Okay, I'm gonna run towards the queen, and once I'm in melee distance, I'm gonna try to get up as high as I can to try to slash with the rapier and open up as much of the stomach as I can, or the pelvis, whatever I could reach.
You can reach whatever you want. Go for it.
I'm gonna make sure I stay away from the crotch area there. As much as possible. I know.
Okay. Oh, come on now. It's like a cavernous opening. Tunnel of light right there.
Oh shit. Okay, that's 19.
That is a miss.
Oh.
So as you sinks in, it's just like hitting a rough hide. You open a small little cut, but nothing that seems to have damaged her, though she does screech back, and you can see the flesh kind of quiver and try to get away from you the best I can, but she can't really move. Dio, as you're in the distance yet, you can see Morta trying to dig this blade into her. And you can see Nox using this leverage to try and heave this bucket of molten lava down on her. What do you do? Alan lies on the ground. If you look over, he looks just crushed.
I have a healing potion I could administer to him.
You can't. I'm permanent dead. Well, I mean, you could try, but...
Oh, okay.
You get over there to look at him, and you can see it looks like, yeah, he's pretty much no saving him.
I might shut down, actually. He's my... I'm supposed to be protecting him.
You
So...
failed.
Yep. It was like, whoa, got eaten. Well, I would, I guess, kind of go a little bit into default mode, self-destruct, perhaps even attack. And all the lights go off and the weapons come out, look like weird cartoon figures. I blaze away with the rifle and the emergency siren goes off. Whoop, 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 whoop.
So you guys see Dio just going crazy in the distance.
What is it? Warning, Doc Robinson, warning.
Oh no.
Danger, Will Robinson.
Why is it rolling the bane so bad? Oh my god.
See this explosion goes off right next to you. Knocks. Another one, a third, a fourth. You see these bright flashes of light flashing around you, rifle bullets flinging past. This Dio just goes into like a complete self-destruct mode almost. Then you can hear the singe. You look down and notice part of your costume. The tail of it is on fire. Several holes burnt through. These little streams of molten lava spewing out from the bottom of this cauldron type thing where these lasers blasted through, spewing out one way like faucets around it. Morta and Nox, give me agility challenge rolls. You hear us crack sort of sound. You see the heavy iron of this cauldron all around the base of it, or whatever metal this is, crack, and then the bottom just drops.
Morta got a 9.
Me and Nox, you got a 13. So you turn just in time, Morta, to see the bottom of this heavy cauldron cart type thing. This, whatever metal this is made of, it seems to be holding the lava just well, but it cracks all along the base and the bottom just drops. The lava comes out with it. Nox, you're able to jump back, but Morta, you were not so lucky.
Yeah.
$46 damage, Morta. You see a wash over top of you, over top of this huge bloated form, the trout screeching. Give me a strength challenge roll, Morta. You're going to have 3 banes. You take massive damage, so this would basically be to not auto die.
How much damage is it? 46?
46.
Ooh. Oh, wow. Okay, this is -10. Oh,
Yeah,
Oh,
you
boy.
feel this, everything. By the time you step back, Nox, look
Wow.
down, it's just a pile of goop, feces, melted flesh. You can see what's left of Morta, covered in black ichor, blood from this thing, and what's left of a few fingers. Most of it's all been melted, burned away. This beautiful hilted sword. Dio, do you like what happens to you?
Well, I took the damage as well.
No, but I didn't know if
no.
you were like, self-destruct or what.
Yeah, no, I'm total attack. I have to destroy whatever destroyed my.
Right. You see, yeah, this thing basically just melt down into pudding as lava washes across it. Only thing left, is silence. All the trowel stopped, just dead, whatever they're doing, standing there, not moving. Some laying on the ground, but doing absolutely nothing. It's like a hive mind just went to a complete stop.
Who's still standing?
Nox.
Just Nox. I look at him.
Look at me. I'm your master now.
Well, that might have to happen. Sort of my quest. It's my background for my character. I wonder if I would shut down again. Actually, yeah, my mission's over because my mark is dead.
That's
And
totally up to you.
Well, I do shut down. You can try wind me up again or not. It's your call. I would probably just turn off until someone finds me again and fires me up.
So all around you, everything pretty much just comes to a complete halt. Knox. See what's left of Morta melted away. This huge behemoth thing. Bits of ichor and blood spurt, and then you feel a splash against the side of your body. This black ichor dribbling down in your nostrils, your mouth, your ears. And you have this strange feeling of hunger, just that you want to eat everything.
No. No.
As you stand there, and with that, I need one final will challenge roll with one bane.
Okay. Damn it. Could I? I'm gonna argue for some boons here because my background says that I snuck into Alfheim and stole a lock of hair from the Fairy Queen. And if something could give me a boon, this could.
This lock
Because
of hair.
From the Fairy Queen. I mean, she must be super awesome or something. And I also have that cinnamon rose thing that I got session 1 from the woman.
I'll give you a boon for that. See.
Thank you. Because my will is already bad. Like, I mean, it's a 0, but you know.
So, as you stand here in silence, darkness kind of comes down around you. This melted form of this bloated queen just melting away into the floor. Morta's just left of her hand holding onto the hilt of this blade. Dio shuts down. You see the crushed form of Alan lying across the floor. You feel a soft brush against your shoulder. When you look over, you see a single trow standing there. It lifts its hand up, and you see what looks to be just a hunk of rotten, fetid meat. You can't help yourself but to take that and chew on it. It's kind of gummy. Tastes sort of like a banana. You gulp that down. A few years pass, and as the credits begin to roll, we see Knox. He is taken on the form of a female for the most part. Bloated. These strange little giant goblins crawling around along the side of him, reaching, feeding off of him, and all these trow just standing around in worship. Bonfires blaze. I'll let you decide what is going through Knox's head as he has become the new she-queen.
He's like, oh, come on. He really called it. He knew it. So he knocks with... First of all, he would take the shiny rapier. And he would eat his friends, all of them. And he would try to turn on Dio as well to become his eternal servant. Yeah. Eternal servant and chef, maybe.
That would work. Awesome. Well, if you start him up, that's what he does. He imprints on the.
Yeah, and Knox with I don't know. He would start like since he was pretty selfish. That's his mojo. Like he would be like, oh, I mean, I have servants now, so it's not too bad. Like,
Nice.
I can get used to it.
You finally got your family.
Right?
As you birth these things, they look somewhat like goblins, a little deformed, a little bit more warty, but much larger than a goblin's. I like to think that this is the origin of ogres.
Yikes.
And with that, centuries pass, and in another 150 years, Nox will be large enough, ambitious enough to start the third war with his giant goblins. The end. Let's stop this broadcast. We can clean
That was
everything up.
awesome.